think Tundra will then come back and beat Frame, and we'll go to a second iteration. And then, yeah, that's I'll do that prediction in the second iteration.
Okay.
I don't know. The last series that I watched of Tundra, that was like TI tier 1 level play, honestly. The Doom play, these like super difficult plays to actually make him in.
To block a hook.
Exactly, like snaking on fire. I gotta say, I'm really liking Tundra's chances today. I think they might just sweep it.
But if they sweep it, OG and Brame, who's gonna lose then, Fog? You can't give a cop-out answer.
I was not intending to.
Okay.
So you're saying, okay, so right now, Tundra's #1.
I think Tundra's #1 for me.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, jeez,
Okay,
I don't know,
I'm gonna let
honestly.
you think about it for a little bit because it is time, guys. It is time for some Dota 2. We're gonna have 3 best of ones. We're gonna just get them out one after the other. We're gonna kick it off with OG taking on Brame, and the draft for that will happen after this. drafting time for the tiebreakers. We got OG and Brame. They will be the first two playing here in this round robin of 3 teams. One team will be relegated to a lower division, will take 7th place. By the way, does that also mean the 5th place is still up for grabs?
Well, yeah, they're going to be playing for it in the
5th, 6th, 7th. Yeah, 5th place gets DPC points. Also important to note.
100 points, right?
50 points.
50 points.
That means
still pretty good.
I mean,
that means literally nothing.
Who knows?
Still pretty good.
It means nothing.
It means nothing.
It's very sad. Some honor, maybe, perhaps, you know. Let's take a look then. We got the Alchemist banned out, as we normally see, versus OG. And actually, OG respecting the Spartan Dark Willow, removing that. We do have the Enchantress. But yeah, Snapfire Lina, not too big of surprises here so far. The Ancient Apparition also picked up by OG.
Oh, I guess start this off by saying, of course, with Madark playing for OG, he did play on OG Seed,
yes,
which was kind of the child team of OG. I think last year before the pandemic, or maybe the year before that.
During.
So it's all
No, before.
It was like just before, and then
with Peksu?
Yeah. It was like just before pandemic, and then it died off during the start.
It was like before.
But either way, it's like they had the experience of kind of working with Notel and stuff. So I feel like this is going to be one of the best standings they could have found at short notice. Yeah. And he is very much like a more harder starter carry. Not as hard as Anna, but...
Looks like Brame is taking a page out of the Liquid style with those two, with that opener. Which I do like. It's a, you know, Liquid of course opens up pretty much with Sumail's hero, but it's still the same concept. This is probably the 4/5 plus the offlane. Still able to flex it, of course.
Honestly, I'd love to see this just as a 5 Enchantress, because for Spartan, you know, you mentioned the idea of face checking high grounds. This hero, get your magic resistant talent at 10, get a couple fluffy hats, off you go. You're going to be face checking high grounds to the end of time.
I do, but you know that the AA is a 5. That's the thing, right?
Yeah,
Enchantress can just completely bully it. We actually saw this exact lane, right?
Yeah,
I think we saw the Enchantress and the Magnus versus the Sven and the AA, and they actually no, it was a Broodmother. It was Broodmother Snapfire actually that game that Liquid did have it, but they were really good versus it. OG, they're gonna go for this one, and it's important that we're gonna watch that bottom lane because the synergy between like Notel and Ana in that game was completely off. They completely butchered the lane, so definitely gonna be watching those two.
Yeah, I think if you look towards what Topson's been playing in his pubs, I did a quick check. Like, it's not like he's spamming anything to left field anymore. Like, he's not like spamming the Hoodwinks. He's gone playing some more Tinies. He's played a couple of Zeus games, Void Spirits, Pangolier. Like, he's just playing Invoker as well. There's actually a brief spell of Monkey King, which didn't go too well for him. But
pretty interesting that they don't just start the open with the Tiny, right? Like, they go for the Sven, which is, of course, that lane pairing, and, of course, Warcry is good versus the Cleave and just the physical damage that'll be coming out likely from a Magnus +1. But Enchantress in lane is pretty decent versus it. You can dispel the Warcry. You're also just a bully with Impetus and a Creep. So, yeah, a bit interesting that they go just straight for the route of going for their carry.
Yeah, I want to... In regards to OG, though, I need to see Topson on an active style of hero.
Yes.
Who can make plays while Sven just utilizes the jungle. Like, if you go for greed, like, the issue with OG in this season so far has been when they've looked towards Topson and gone, what hero do you want to play? Often his suggestion is a little bit too greedy for the game. Like, it might work for his lane, but, like, it doesn't look like it cleanly fits into the perfect draft.
Agreed.
But anyway, yeah.
I like the bans from Brame.
Yeah.
I think you have Magnus, you have to ban out Omni. There's also a Sven on the other side. 100% have to ban out the Omni Knight. Other hero that enables the Sven, Darkseer, 2 very popular Seb heroes. So I like these 2 bans, as we see on the side of OG. They're banning out the super carries, the ones that can outscale with the Magnus versus a Sven. So all 3 actually taken out, the Void, the PA, and the Juggernaut.
I want to put a hero out that we normally see banned against Brame in the second ban phase, which this game didn't happen, which is TA.
Yes.
Is oftentimes banned due to him just being really good.
Also, the Elder Titan, right?
Oh, yeah.
They've first...
Skylark. They were the first team
It's been first banned from every team versus Brame ever since they had that showing where Skylark just popped off the full series. So they're going to have to go for a different strat. They still probably can pick it. That could be a Spartan hero if they do go for a
Spartan has played it, because I would imagine that Skylark will be the one playing the mag.
And that might actually be another indication of why they went for Sven, too. They might be expecting ET. Sven is one of the better ones because you just get straight plus armor for your entire team, which completely kind of counteracts natural order.
Do you even want to pick an ET into that, or no?
It is their comfort, but they're going to go a different route. They're actually going to take away the Tiny. Yep. So that's nice. Kind of a steal pick, but also works well with themselves versus these kind of squishy backline heroes.
The main thing for Brame here is they haven't played Magnus in DPC so far. They did play it in Pinnacle Cup the other day, where there was just a casual offlane.
How'd that go?
It was offlane Tiny. They put the offlane Magnus mid Tiny with the Juggernaut. It's like high pacing game. They had the ET like you mentioned. But yeah, it's just kind of Brame coming into this best of one. And again, it's so scary because best of ones, you lose this game if you're Brame. Now OG, if they beat Tundra in the next series, that's it. They're already going to be, you're playing for elimination. So it's very scary. But yeah, Brame coming with a little bit more of a interesting take. But I like the Clockwork pickup.
Same.
So that's good. Dominated on Clockwork the other week. And it pairs really well into these aggressive starter heroes that want to just face check high grounds and stuff, because you always may have to punish them. And also Tiny, he's either in the fight or not. And Clockwork are the type of heroes that completely punish this.
Combo breaker as well. I actually really like Clockwork versus Magnus because you actually get inside of the skewer. You can drag yourself also with it to interrupt the combos, and exactly, you can just like hook shot and interrupt if they do go for some type of big wombo combo play. I'm a big fan of Clockwork right now. And you have AA, so double kind of mini global with Rocket and with AA Blast.
Loads evasion.
Question for Brame now is, what is going to be the... Okay, they go for Grimstroke, keeping open their last pick carry. Which is interesting because you already see the carry matchup, so you can pick a decent carry for carry matchup, but they are just fully trying to get the perfect lane to enable him. Because this type of lineup, it is a 4 protect 1 style, which is you need to make sure you have the perfect pick. Uncounted as well would be ideal.
I am a little bit sad that there won't be a Tiny 4 and an Enchantress 5, and then they pick something else instead.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about Grim. We got even more global coming out now. We got a Zeus high burst as well. Enchantress probably won't look as tanky, but how do you feel about Grim? I actually like Grim when you can actually utilize the shard at its maximum for the dispel and for the heals.
The heal, yeah.
You're playing into AA. I feel like that just, it kind of removes the concept as, you know, that Grim does get super strong a lot.
But I still think the fundamentals of Grim, the skirmishing ability, the need to just to go, is insane. Like, when you pair that with, like, how many times have you seen Tiny Grim paired together where it's like
That's
blink,
true.
bang,
That is
death.
very true, yeah. The combo play is really nice.
Yeah. And like OG doesn't really have saves in their lineup, so if they are able to locate that single core with that combo, they will be dying.
Okay.
And OG, they pick up a Zeus to try and play behind the front line of Clock Sven. Zeus has a terrible win rate in DPC. I remember like Knoxville did a tweet about, I think it was like 0-11 or something. In European upper division, it's 0-2. Like, it's not had a great showing. But in this type of game where Brame basically has 4 heroes enabling 1, this is where Zeus can thrive, because the lack of tower damage, and then the fact it's only 1 core you have to really worry about, Zeus can play really well around that. So
he can die
a good pick. He can die a lot.
He can get dove, like Tiny plus like an Enchantress creep swinging around early game into the mid lane. Plus
Clock has to be really well positioned to enable this.
Like, a lot of damage though. Ice Vortex plus Zeus, lots of global.
Like early game, it's Clock's job to move to mid when Ench is coming in.
Yes.
And then in the mid to late game, it's Sven's job to initiate so that they're reacting to that, not going on the Zeus. But Brame, they have the tools to deal with this greediness of OG, because a quick Ench rotation to mid with a Tiny kills Zeus, then you take over the jungle, early tower pressure of Ench, like that can come into play. But again, it's very early game centric from Brame, but it is what their kind of bread and butter of the DPC so far.
I mean, this Clockwork looks king right now. This Clock looks like he's going to boss the game around. Protect those ancient stacks, protect the triangle, which is going to be his biggest job, at least in the early game. Yeah, I really like this Clock pick. Both of the supports can just die instantly inside of these fights, especially the Grim.
Is there any carry that you'd like to see on the side of Brame that is still in the pool? Because obviously OG has been focusing on that a lot.
They banned like everything.
Yeah.
They're just trying to set up the Sven to be that ultimate carry.
I guess we still have Wraith King in the pool. Ursa, that, I mean, I don't really like. I don't think it has had the greatest success, but still in.
I think Troll would be pretty good here.
Yeah, Troll's still in too.
That hero's been kind of just gone, I feel like.
Yeah, again, it's so easily kited though. So like the Clockwork with the cogs, and then you have some Zeus who's always going to play it back. Like, I'm just trying to think of like the carry matchups.
Just not a lot of options.
Yeah, there really isn't. And then maybe you would argue, don't go for the Empower, but go for the win condition like a Medusa, but Zeus counters Medusa because she stands still. And then they go for a filthy little Venom monster.
The thing is, like, you kind of have to pick a melee carry. You have Grimstroke and Magnus, so now a Veno pick kind of breaks like, anyone that you do want to go for as this
range
melee
cores
carry.
are kind of countered by Zeus, and then the melee cores are countered by the Veno. So yeah, this this final, like, 1v9 type hero that Brame has to pick is, like, maybe can you just go like Spectre, just go Ultra Greed, play for late game? But then, like,
I think you're just gonna get run over. The Sven's just gonna be way too big for you to deal with.
True.
I actually don't know. This is a pretty disgusting lineup from OG. We got Ice Vortex, we got Poison Over, we got Plague Wards, Rockets. Like, this is a tough one here for Brame.
If they can, like, if Brame ignores the Veno lane and then can make plays away from that, then I can see their lineup being really good for that early game, but okay, they go for a lifestealer. A hero that, of course, buys Armlet, Halberd, AC, naturally can deal with the physical damage of Sven, has the Rage to deal with the Zeus, but I'm just a little bit scared of that kiting coming out. Like, you have Clockwork to play into lifestealer. How do you slows? Yeah.
How do you get into backline is my big thing. Like, looking at Brame,
yeah,
they want to try to be able to pierce through the Sven and the Clockwork in mid game, right? To get on top of this Veno, Zeus, and AA. But you have to go Blink Daggers, and that's why they have a Veno and a Zeus to cancel the Blink Daggers to get into backline. It feels like a tough game for me for Brame.
Yeah, but I have seen these games before where Brame, they like have such a strong early game that then it doesn't matter about these things because they've already broken down the construct of like a slow kind of, because OG, their game is all about positioning, waiting for Sven to come online, and then they ramp up their pressure themselves. They're not the ones making early plays. So yeah, I can see Brame how they will be able to win this game in the early pressure, but I just love the idea of Zeus Veno. Just stall out the game. It's the best of one. You're going to have points of aggression at early game and then ultra late game. So,
do want to give another PSA. We were full of them today.
Wait, where'd he go? Wait.
What? Who?
Wait.
Where did who go? Where did he go?
I don't know.
There was never anybody here.
We got a Ricky in it.
No, there was never anybody there.
Wait, what?
I don't know what you're talking about. We've been doing this with the two of us all day. What? T. My PSA, by the way, was in-game. If you're watching in-game and when you're watching the game in a second, you will notice that there are 2 of the boxes that will be ticked with yellow with the best of 3 thing rather than with the best of 1. These are best of 1s, but due to a bug, we will show them as if it's best of 3 rather, in-game. You know what I mean. It's best of 1s, but you're gonna be bamboozled by the Dota.
Literally no one in Twitch chat ever reads the tickers on the screen. You know,
I know that's not true.
It will literally be like 1-0, and they'll be like,
you know that
what's the score, guys? Who's winning the first game?
Person will notice and then will spam it, and then everybody will know. But
true.
Now you all know. Anyway, let's find out what's gonna happen in this first best of 1. We're heading over to ODPixel and Fog.
Thank you very much, Sheev. Yes, game 1 of the best of 1 between OG and Brame. Fog, we've already had some of your opinions, but getting into this, again, to sort of reiterate, you just feel that this is going to be rather a tough one from Brame. You like this whole AA, Veno, Zeus that the OG's bringing out here.
It's dirty. It is very dirty versus what they're playing against, right? Like Magnus, we've seen these Magnuses not really relying so much on Blink early. I've seen mostly like the Hood and the Mech kind of build early on, but eventually you want to have that Blink for these initiations. OG is the breaker of initiations with this Veno and Zeus and even the Clockwork. Yeah, it feels difficult, but I think Brame, if they can play super aggressive, get themselves off to a good start, they can actually get some invasions off, then perhaps they have a shot, but definitely looks difficult. I'm going to be pretty much just staring at Stominen, watching what movements he makes on the Enchantress early, looking how much he can punish the Zeus in the mid lane, and if he's able to actually get some blocking off, because I think they're going to have to probably ward out some of these stacks.
Yeah. And, for OG as well, obviously, to mention once again, playing with the standard, playing with Madara. On the Sven, pretty good hero to just put Madara on and trust that he's going to have a good time, right? He should be able to fit in quite comfortably here.
No, I agree. And, we did see that lane go to Devastation last time they did play it, the Sven and the AA, but they were playing versus a very tough matchup of the Brood plus the Snapfire. This one still doesn't look super easy, but if they're in sync, those double stuns can be very effective. Enchantress, though, like I said, Enchantress is going to be the one to watch in the early game from the side of Brame.
Looking at some of these other lanes. So the mid lane, Wish on the Tiny against Tops and Zeus. I mean, we're not seeing a huge amount of Zeus. Is Zeus able to sort of spam a Tiny out of the lane, or is Wish going to farm okay?
He's just going to, yeah, they're both. I think this is just that's a boring lane. That's just a farm one. Unless we get some like crazy toss back or something from Wish. I don't see anybody really getting too punished in here, so they should just be able to farm. Bottom, I think, is the fun one. Clockwork is always going to be chasing out Grimstroke. Lifestealer is going to be trying to walk up to a Veno and getting poked. So I feel like OG, they have a bit of an advantage down here. While top is also another battle lane.
Really, Stominen getting a little low there. But, just trying his best to sort of go on to no tail.
Yep, and we check the camps. Sentry is blocking the hard camp. Small camp is available if the Enchantress is looking to be able to get that one. Yeah, on the other side, we also do see the double block camps. But the small camp on this side is not blocked, and there is a really good creep there. This Harpy Stormcrafter, if Stominen does get enchant at level 2, he can get that one in. Very obnoxious creep, especially versus something like an AA.
Yeah, I mean, down bottom, as a lifestealer, are you just going to be able to farm totally fine against the pressure of a Veno? Like, is the lifesteal, the the rage eventually going to be enough, or do you still imagine that Seb's going to be able to come out on top of this?
As the levels progress, it gets worse and worse for the Lifestealer. The first few levels you can still sustain, but it starts to just build up where he's just poking you and poking you and poking you, and you start running out of this regen. Holding the wave outside. He's already got the Gale, so he's going to be ready to start that harassment as Focus. We know he doesn't have rage.
Yeah, I guess, Spartan's going to have to be careful with his position for sure. As if they do get a Gale connection onto the Grimstroke, definite kill potential there for Saxa to run him down. Yeah,
Saxa gets the rocket right away, so securing range creeps one of the more important things down here, as Veno can struggle with that a little bit.
That's true, yeah. No sort of hard-hitting nuke themselves to secure those important creeps.
And Spartan, he will check over. He'll see that his pull camp is blocked. Does he have a sentry coming? He does, and he's got the Mango. So he should be able to deward it, should be able to have it available for the next time. As we said, these levels, once it builds up, like level 3 on Clockwork, level 3 on Veno, that's when this lane becomes quite difficult for the two. Top lane, we see the Sven goes for an early bracer. He's struggling a little bit. They already do have the hard camp open, as we saw. The Enchantress able to get the Wild Wing. And now also able to get a Centaur. So Enchantress, always one of the better heroes to slow down a strong lane.
Yeah, I mean, in this sort of game, Stamanen, can he try and make some sort of move pretty early on towards this mid lane to set up onto the Zeus?
I think so. I absolutely think he can. If he finds himself some good creeps, I think he can actually look to make an early rotation. Wish gets aggro onto Topson, but Topson will be okay. He's coming out a bit ahead as this Tiny in mid.
Yeah, looking at the side lanes, Skylark kind of struggling the most, but at the same time, I'm going to try and have a bit of a go onto it, but yeah, he's fine. Yeah, he's got skewer if necessary, so very hard. Really for those two to go on now that the Magnus is as tanky as he is on these early levels. He'll always be able to get out unless he makes a huge mistake.
Yeah, that's just I'm just watching what this Enchantress is going to be doing. Right now it's just farm. Stominen's trying to maximize getting his own XP in the lane. Maybe wants to get the level 2 enchant before he looks to make a move, so he's got that long creep duration. Top though.
There we go. Actually, well, I didn't think he would die, but yeah, he comes back in, and the skewer right way is not going to save him.
Spicy.
First blood.
And he tips him, his former teammate.
Yeah. Matter is going to be very, very happy with that, as you know, in this lane already is far not being slowed down too much. We'll see over towards the river. They're going to try and run down Topson. But the Inkswell's done. Wish has got the toss. Topson will be able to take him out here. Nice move from Spartan to come in and join forces to get that kill done.
And he can take away the small camp as well. Nice move from our boy Spartan, making an early move. And we do see, up top, we actually see a lot of sentries coming out. We'll talk about that in a little bit as another skewer. We'll catch No Tail. Do they have the creep in time?
Trying to get it in. As Impetus. The damage from the Impetus might be up. Oh, Hoofstomp's not going to be on target.
Quick
No
salve.
Tail. He's salving up. They will be able to cancel the salve. They won't kill him, but definitely putting No Tail in a bit of a tough position. See if they can set up again. The stun's back up here from Madara. They'll try and skewer Saxa underneath the tower. Saxa wanting to go in on this. Now he's taking hits, gets dragged back by the shockwave. Oh, he really wanted to kill Skylark there, but not enough damage as Brame are able to turn and take down the clock.
Oh, No Tail might die as well.
He's got the slow.
He's got the stun.
He's got this as well. I mean, here we have it. Stamanen definitely fighting back and showing the strength here of the Enchantress on these early levels. It's just very hard to get in aggressive. You know, they don't kill the Magnus, and then Stamanen, he's just able to turn and chase you down.
Yeah, as we said, this is going to be the guy to watch early game. Didn't expect the Spartan rotation on mid, which was very clean, but yeah, the Enchantress so far having a great start. Has the medallion already finished up super early on, so that pressure in lane will continue. And we're seeing what ends up happening. You know, the Veno starts to get these levels. We've got the 2 points in wards plus 2 points in poison sting. Now Focus's life is starting to become a bit miserable.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's going to be very careful when he sort of attends to the lane. He's in a good position for him though, nice and close to the tower here. Focus. So for now, he'll continue to be able to farm this area nice and safely.
And eyes on Stominen will be able to find a D ward. No Tail tries to go for a courier bounce back. No Tail might have to be careful himself. This isn't Enchantress.
Stamanen's going to do a lot of damage. I don't think you don't win this trade as the AA.
You're just dead.
Stamanen, yeah, he's getting some beautiful action here. This sort of whole jungle now seems to be kind of a spooky place for OG to attend to. Stamanen's making the moves around. He's going to start killing people. Bottom lane, Seb. Let's try and start to turn, but Focus has got the rage. Focus, he's just ready to go back in onto Seb. Seb will be protected with that raindrop, saving him from a good bit of the damage from the stroke. So Seb will be fine.
Mid lane.
They
don't have the combo right now. 5 seconds on Avalanche. They're going to glyph the wave.
Thompson, who's off the mark there from the Centaur. See if they can still do anything here with Madara coming in with the backup. OG, they're going to look to try and turn. They're trying to chase down Wish. They actually close in upon him, Wish.
Oh, the Zeus ult, though, it reveals the
ward. They don't find him.
They do get a lucky D ward, though, because of that Zeus ult that just was placed, actually, from Stominen.
I'll see Madara popping the God Strength. He's going to stick to the jungle now. And all in all, OG have managed to get themselves this 1k lead. Wish making the rounds here. Picks up a bounty rune. I'm going to try and chase him out. Same time down bottom. Seb on his own. Spartan and Focus are able to go for the kill. You see quick moves here. As Wish does manage to make it away. They don't quite have the catch yet, at least not until Sax is able to get a few more of those levels. So just level 3 here at the moment, so it's a bit of time.
It's really good aggressive moves coming out from Brame, though. 6-1, but still OG somehow having the net worth advantage, just from how good their lane setups actually were. Even though Thompson did die, he is a little bit more farmed at the moment than that Tiny, who spent a lot of time just running around. But that's what we're going to see from Wish. He can just continue to look to pressure around since he's got level 7 with the phase and the Windlace. Very fast, he can definitely punish these side lanes. And Seb does have to be a little careful of when he is alone down there, because that's when they can punish him, when Sox is not there to protect.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ferris Trinket here for OG. Lovely find here, of course, with all the magical damage and they're going to be kicking out.
Well done, Wish. He's in.
He's found Thompson. Easy kill. Straight into the face of the Zeus. Thompson doesn't stand a chance against this combo.
And bottom, Seb is extremely far up. Saksa will spot them, but they have a combo in a second.
Yeah, it's up in a second. Wish, he's got the Avalanche ready if he needs it. At the moment, he's just blocking Seb off. There it comes. Avalanche into the toss. It's a double kill for Wish as this Tiny making the rounds and OG just hemorrhaging lives here on the side lanes.
Level 8 already on Wish, and they're running into the triangle. They're stealing the stacks. Saksa?
It's another one here. Wish.
He's just dead.
Apex is a triple kill here. At 9 minutes in, Wish just crushing them.
And they see the stack. They're going to start working on it slowly. They probably need like the Magnus in order to actually do so. But they at least are aware. And the invasion plays are ready from Brame. Looking hot and quickly. Even though it was 1k gold lead for OG, now it's 2k for them with these quick moves from Wish. And just securing runes is the important thing, as we saw that haste rune being put to work. Madara
up top.
He'll strike
back. He gets himself a nice little solo action here. Thompson. And he's got Madara by his side, so Wish won't be able to push on further. I'll head back to the jungle, try and get that Blink Dagger done. Making good timing onto it. Hits 1,200 gold in. He's top of the net worth here, Tiny.
Loving the moves. And continuing to play around this mid. So we've got 10 seconds until the next power rune. Power rune's so important on a hero like Tiny, but Thompson steps up too far again.
I mean, Wish, he's just able to walk in. That's Thompson dead. Oh, Brame looking terrifying here with these early movements. They are rolling over OG when it comes to the kills.
And Notel, he actually has to go in to steal the rune to make sure that Wish doesn't get it, but he's going to die for it.
Another kill. Wish, mega kill streak. They've got to stop this Tiny. They've got to be prepared for these movements, because at the moment, Wish, he's just been able to just walk up and kill so many people.
He's level 9 already. He's the same level as the safe lane Sven, and his combo is going to be lethal versus these squishy heroes at the moment. Even the Clockwork looking quite squishy versus it because of how big this Tiny is. Yeah, like you said, Fairy Trinket, 300, 400 gold to the Blink Dagger already for Wish. This is an excellent start. Already having a hood, I believe, on Skylark up top too, so he's already preparing for that onslaught of magic damage that's going to be coming out from OG.
Yeah, and lots of space for both carries.
Yes.
But yeah, Focus, for instance, down bottom. He's got the Javelin going for the Maelstrom into the Halberd. And getting all the space in the world, really. Seb's sort of left the lane as he's sort of looking to set up in other parts of the map. Doesn't feel that he can do too much actually in lane against the Lifestealer now.
Yeah, and Lifestealer, if he's on even footing as a Sven, he can actually stand toe-to-toe with the Sven. Sven usually works because you're ahead of the enemy carry because of your cleave function. So now he will start working on those Ancients, so he should have a little bit higher net worth in particular than that Lifestealer. So we'll be in a decent position after this.
Yeah, and we've seen Madara's approach here with the Sven. He's an Echo Saber kind of guy. He's not a Midas Sven. We're seeing a lot of Svens go for that Midas. Madara, he's going for the fighting build.
I'm glad he did
Echo.
this game. They're already struggling in the early game. I think
if
you're having a fine game, if your lanes are going great, sure, you can go the Midas, you can get away with it. But if your team is struggling, you want to be able to do something. The toss?
I mean, Focus, he was just diving tier 2s here. He gets the kill.
That was too deep.
I mean, he does dive for... He was running right up to the tier 2 here to get that kill on No Tail. I mean, he definitely should not have expected any chance of actually getting out of there. And of course, he doesn't. He dies for his attempt. He got the kill, though. So, I mean, he'll tell you it was worth.
Yeah, definitely not, though. As the Sven now gets so much time to get like 20 extra seconds of farm to build the pressure. So, a bit of a slip up there from Focus being over-aggressive. Spartan.
Oh, Spartan. Oh!
Is he gonna tip him? He didn't tip him, okay. Former teammates, of course, you know, we're gonna be watching out for those tips from both Skylark and from Spartan versus Madara.
Madara, ready to push on to this tier 1 tower. Same to be set up top. Both teams taking away the tier 1 towers. Skylark not able to quite find anybody hidden in the trees. So Focus, that'll be the Maelstrom done.
Okay.
Very fast here, 12 minutes in, so his farm's really going to pick up. He's going to be able to keep up with Madara.
Kind of cool that he's going for that build when he has a Magnus on his team.
That's true, yeah. Oh, Wish, bottom.
Wish.
He's in with the combo.
He's found him.
They got enough damage with the impetus. They will. Madara goes down. Thompson is going to come in and see if he can maybe take down Stamanen. But the jump for Wish again. He's in with the combo. He's just been able to blow up No Tail.
He's got an arcane rune.
He just jumps into the face of the 3 of them. And there's nothing that OG can do about it. Thompson will manage to reach back in and blow up Spartan. But Seb's going to die for this. He'll get the ult off, but Wish, Skylark, and Stamanen have the control and damage. As Brame, they just clean up yet again.
Another power rune for him. We saw the haste earlier get him a double kill. Now we see the arcane rune pretty much set up for a triple kill. Blink dagger and 1,000 gold. This is a massive tiny. Almost the same net worth as the Sven. This is pretty huge. And he's also got, we gotta say it, he's got Empower. So sure, not the best hero to get it, but if he's able to get to later stages, if he's able to get scaling items, this is quite scary for OG. 15 to 4 Owen.
Oh, they're getting so many kills around this tiny. You know, Wish is just, he's really on it this game.
And they're stacking. Look at this. They're getting the Ancient stacks and the Hard Camp stack. We see Spartan and Focus getting it prepared. Enabling their cores perfectly. Saksa so far, a completely quiet start, 0-3-0 on the clockwork, unable to find much of anything, unable to counter gank at all versus this super fast-paced tempo Brame is setting.
No, you see, they've made the game very, very tough for him.
Yep.
Especially considering, you know, we've seen some of the best performances on clock from Saksa in the past, and so far this game absolutely having a very tough time to get any sort of momentum. We'll find Stamanen here, and with the Ice Blast drop down, they'll be able to get the Enchantress. So Saksa finally able to get himself a little bit of action in this early game.
And now they're going to put the shift toward the mid lane as well. Get some nice D-wards. And they will be scouting. Rockets will be able to spot Spartan and Wish. So they do have to be a little careful how they do set up for this next one. Skylark is under a ward. Got the hood.
We'll be fine, yeah. They'll let the tier 1 tower go. Wish.
Ooh, bit aggressive.
Jump forward. Well, now start to back out of there. They're going to have the TP coming in from Focus. So OG, they do have the full 5-man around. Do they want to really keep fighting? Actually, Focus stopping his TP. Throw the Soulbind out here, Brame, just to keep OG at a distance. They don't want to get the fight going here. They just want to sort of push back OG. See Saksa. He's found Focus. Focus is...
Who found who?
I was going to say Focus. He was definitely going to be a little tempted to pop the rage and try and get the kill, but of course he's already chased down one support and had to pay the price for it. So probably just going to play a little safer when it comes to those sort of opportunities.
Very true. Oh, toilet at 15 minutes. Oh, look at
Toilet.
That. It's a stressful game, Owen.
It's a
very
stressful
one. And they're off to
it
I
is.
mean, they are
Toilet
off to
break.
a great start, 15-5. As we see, net worth is of course just bouncing back and forth. It's only slightly ahead here for Brame. So far, some really good moves, though. Wish, the absolute MVP right now. 7-0-2, some excellent aggressive play.
Yeah, I mean, and you're right. When he has this Blink Echo and power, it's going to be so much damage. We'll see, of course, some of the moves he's been able to make this game. Just that's sort of the first 10 minutes of play, just already just rolling up and down the map.
And they set him up
his
for
hands
this.
on these heroes.
Like, they set him up for this success, right? It's just Spartan with these quick early rotations like we saw in the beginning of the game. Setting him up to get all the power runes. Tiny is probably one of the best heroes in the game to utilize these power runes at the moment from what I've seen. Like, anyone else, like, I've seen, like, these Storm Spirits and stuff like that be excellent with it, but Tiny is a different monster. Like, Haste and Arcane Rune, it's unbelievable what you can do with this. That's Wish. Yeah, killing it so far.
Yeah, I think definitely one of the heroes that's... Like, it doesn't matter what the rune is, right? DD, Haste, Arcane, they're all killer runes for Tiny.
Yeah.
Absolutely are.
Back in it now. Seb definitely needs to get some more scaling going on for this Venomancer, some more defensive items. We see he's got the hood, he's got his Force Staff now finished up, so that'll help a little bit. At least he can also protect his allies, too, to get away from that big combo.
I mean, and what does he go for next? Is the Vessel still the way to go, though, even though you are playing against a Lifestealer?
I was checking around to see if they want to... Let's see. I think he might want to deviate just to go for something like Solar, but... Because they don't have any other amp up for the Sven right now. Like, I'm looking who else is going to build, and I really want to see like Solar Crest on them.
Because they already someone's going to want to.
Yeah, because the other side, Brame already has one. So you want to be able to have your Sven able to stand toe-to-toe versus Lifestealer. And right now, they're not really enabling him enough, in my opinion. I usually do love the Vessels on Veno, but yes, it's versus a Lifestealer, so it makes it a lot less effective. Still very good versus Tiny at all stages of the game. Same thing versus Magnus, so it could still look for him going for it, but... We'll see. Madara?
Radiant structures are fortified.
They're getting some hits in onto the tier 2 tower. Well, we do see, but Echo Saber's done on Wish, so... He is ready to pretty much jump and burst a larger amount of the heroes that are on OG's side. It's Tiny, very, very scary if he gets to jump off.
Focus is coming down here.
I mean, see what Wish is able to find. Wish, he's not going to be able to get the blink off. Ward's being dropped down as Seb. Stop him from getting the initiation.
Very annoying play by the Veno. That's why they picked it up versus this Magnus and Tiny, the Blink Daggers, as we mentioned earlier.
Oh,
will be problematic, but he gets him. Skylark.
He's able to get him with the RP. That's Seb gone. He'd had enough of Seb dropping his Plague Wards. He wanted him gone, and he'll be able to do so. Just jumps in, no messing around, get rid of Seb, and then he knows that if Seb's not there doing what he's doing with the wards, then the rest of OG, as you were saying, they're not protected from these blinks. It immediately puts that whole push from OG to an end. They have to back off.
Blink reveal, too. No hesitation either. He doesn't go for some type of like fancy just blink skewer. No, he just throws the RP. I like that he does that. With the pace of the game right now, it's definitely appropriate to be able to just throw an RP onto that.
Absolutely. Keeps the tier 2 alive, sends OG back.
And now Focus, he's got the item to be able to stand toe-to-toe versus the Sven. He's actually matching the farm of the Sven still because he does have, of course, the Empower, but he's already got Halberd. So now Sven, a lot less effective if he is going to stand toe-to-toe in the fight. And of course, they do have a Soulbind, so double Halberd can come into play. Not really the best other targets to Halberd anyway, but yeah, just got to throw that in there. Looking good so far for Brame. OG, looking to invade.
They're trying to get something done with this smoke, but Brame, not easy heroes to catch, really. I mean, they have got sort of the hook shot into the follow-up, but they've got to be close by. And in fact, over towards the mid, Skylark is able to catch Thompson. Satch is going to try and come in, but Thompson's gone. Now they can look for more. The Soulbind's out. Can OG really get a fight going here? Look at the Ice Blast down onto Skylark, but Skylark's tanky. He's easily able to step to the side.
They got to disengage.
And now they're heading over towards Seb and No-Tail. OG have to split up as Brame won't quite be able to chase. Again, the ward stopping Wish from being able to get the blink off.
We've seen
quick
this.
Moves. OG just caught a little separated there.
And we've seen this so many times lately from just Zeus's. I think we were mentioning, like Thompson was mentioning, T-Governor was mentioning it on the panel, where this hero just is continuing to just get caught. He has no real way to just escape. Just dies to a shockwave and a skewer from the off lane.
And bottom. I mean, Seven, they can't do anything about this lifesteal. You know, they can sort of have a bit of a poke at him, but Focus is really at no threat at all unless the Sven's around. And even then, if the hook shot's been used, a Rage TP, he's away from these heroes every single time. They can't kill him through the Rage.
I honestly think they're going to have to just wait for Soxa to have an Aghanims, for them to actually have a solution for the Lifestealer to maybe chain stun him down, because he's just got a free game on Focus. And speaking of Soxa,
He's looking pretty dead here.
Sure is.
Skylark with the skewer back. There's no escape. They'll try and shot out. They'll line up the shockwave, and they've got him.
Clean.
18 to 5 now for Brain. Bottom lane. I mean, they're trying to poke up Focus. Focus has got backup coming in. Madara, he's going to put the constraint, try and turn towards Skylark. Skylark's out to the side, though. As Skylark
get the combo.
Wish turns with the combo. Madara, they've got to get this man out of there. As Madara, he'll run. He has to leave this fight. He's got no place in this right now. As OG, they're going to be left without their carry for now. As Madara's had to split, they do still get the kill on Wish. They've lost 2 for this.
Did he get hit by a Venom Ward?
Else?
He got hit by the Venom Ward when he was running away.
And Madara's still trying to go.
He's
But
Focus,
he's going to get on top of Thompson. The Soul Bind's out. OG are trying to run. Seb has been able to finish off Stamanen. But Focus, the Rage is back up. He'll take down Thompson. He'll look towards Madara. Madara has got the backup of Saxa coming in. Skylark, he's been found in the trees here. Seb is going to be able to take down another. Seb is slowly killing them here one by one. Triple kill. Spartan's also having to step back. Focus, he's the real problem though. Madara and Saxa, they're trying to deal with him. Seb has literally killed everybody else.
Blast. It hits him.
But Focus, and they get him as well. Madara is going to keep him alive. They've got him.
They got him.
I mean, OG, it works.
It
Seb
looks scary.
just slowly killing everybody as it works. They break down Brain incredibly slowly, one by one. But it's too much. Brain, they weren't able to coordinate against that sort of play.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Wish tries to get another punch back, but now he's going to get slowed down. He should be able... Okay, he's very tanky. And we did see the way that the Sven actually gets away. So what happened was Aeon Disc procced so that the Soulbound only lasted like a quarter of a second pretty much. Spartan TP's in,
Whoa!
But potentially to his death.
And he's got Wish and Shaman in here. Skylark also, I mean, they're all coming in again. They want round 2, Brain.
This is Veno's home. You don't want to go here. OG strike back, 2K lead. Big fight really that they needed. Level 17 now on Seb.
I mean, Seb, he was just killing them all. He's running them down. They couldn't escape him. He just get 4 kills.
I wish I was actually like highlighting what happened to Wish, because I saw he got away when he only had the Veno ult actually on him, and he ticked down to 1 HP, and then I believe a Veno ward, he walked right into it and just got tapped and killed, which caused the whole snowball there for Seb to clean up. And now the Vessel will definitely pay off, as he is not only just finishes up a full Spirit Vessel after that fight, he's got a Sage as well on Seb. He is unbelievably rich now. That was exactly what they needed to come back in this game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think next time around, they've got to find this Veno. Otherwise, that's going to happen every single time there.
Yeah, look at Wish, right?
Deal with Seb.
He's got the Veno ult on him, but what's he? Yeah, look, I think he walks back into the Veno ward. He does.
Oh no!
No, it did happen. I knew it happened.
Poor Wish, I'm having such a good game. So that was the first time he's died there.
It is.
All it took was that little old Veno ward.
Great stuff from Seb. And now he's unbelievably tanky, as we said. Hood, Spirit Vessel, Sage, 2100 HP, no longer at risk of being comboed up from the Tiny plus Swell, as we've seen a few times. And they have BKB on the Sven. And as we did mention, you know, Thompson having a survivability item, going for an Aeon Disc. Glad we actually see this, because I feel like so many times I saw these Zeuses not go for this, and then they just die because they don't have any type of escape. He also, of course, gets the Shard, so he's got a little bit of a Mario hop away.
They're trying to go in towards the Roche, but already they've caught Spartan outside of it, OG. So,
very typical place for Spartan to die.
I mean, Madara, he's ready to charge in.
He's going in.
He's run straight up to the high ground. He wants to fight this Madara. He's been halberded for now, pops the God Strength. He really wants to keep pushing on. There'll be a buyback from Spartan.
Nice
Quick
dodge.
jump here to dodge the stun. They'll turn with the Soul Bind.
BKB.
Jump in from Wish, but the BKB's out from Madara. Still wanting to push on with the fight with the remainder of the God Strength. They look towards Spartan. Spartan able to force over the cliff. As they retreat here for now, Bray.
It's a bit awkward right now.
Focus. He's trying to get back in on this. They've got the smoke here, OG, to try and reposition.
Their God Strength is starting to run out.
I mean, they're really trying to force this, OG.
Wish.
Over to the side. Ice Blast is going to come down to Wish. They've got the hook shot as well. Wish is gone. As OG take down Wish. RP comes out onto the two of them. They'll get them down deep underneath the tower.
Nice
Knocks out. Focus by Focus as Focus takes down the AA over towards Saxa. A shockwave here onto the 3 of them, but they've lost 2 Brain. As now, they've lost 3. Skylar, again, they just can't deal with this constant damage being kicked out by Seb. It's just impossible to fight into. Focus, he's going to try. He's looking for Saxa, but Saxa's able to get the cogs off.
What's he doing?
Saxa's going to live.
He's in
Focus's
trouble.
rage comes to an end. They're going to buy back to try and get over and help Focus, but Madara, Seb, They've got the damage. Focus, he's trying to lifesteal up, but the damage from Seb is too much. Focus goes down. Madara hiding in the trees here is just going to go straight for the TP out. As once again, OG just proving to be impossible for Brain to fight into. You know, for all the earlier moves that Brain was making around the map, when it's coming to these team fights, it's just too much from OG.
They crumbled under the pressure there. The constant poke, really, for the Venomancer coming out extremely successful. And they don't let Wish play his game. That's the important thing. He's trying to blink onto these targets, but now they're getting too tanky, and he can't actually get through the blanket of all these Veno wards. And I believe, do we have the AA shard yet? Not yet, but that's going to be another element that they have to deal with. That's going to be super annoying soon to stop these blink daggers on top of everything. OG have really found their footing in these last few minutes. 7K gold lead, rallied around the Veno.
Oh, they really have. It's just, like, how do you kill the Veno? Like, you need to kill the Veno at the start of the fight, but it's seeming pretty impossible.
Oh, no, Wish again.
They get the catch. Ice Bar's coming in. That's Wish gone. OG making all the moves now.
Yeah, time and time again being found. Spartan, very aggressive from Thompson. Won't quite be able to get him, but push them away from the triangle again, get their successful wards, blanket the area, and then secure the Roche. Starting to look hard now for Brame.
It really is, down 7K. And Sages will be OGs, and we see there, you know, for what was sort of a balanced early game, good XP gain as well, as we saw, because of the kills that Brame were finding. When it came to those last few fights, I mean, obviously all kicking off down at the bottom one, where Seb cleans up with sort of an ultra kill. It's gone all downhill from there for Brame. That they've got to try and find their footing, but it's so hard now with just how much of a boost some of these heroes have. This Seb Veno, second highest net worth. It's just, it seems far too much for them to deal with. I don't know how they're going to be able to stop him doing what he's done the last 2 times in the team fights.
I don't either. Wish's game has just completely stopped being able to do pretty much anything. Everyone is too tanky for him to actually go on. He can only catch the AA, and No-Tail is way too far back inside of the fights. His whole progression has just stopped. And now Clockwork has the agonies that we mentioned. So they have multiple different solutions for the Rage Lifestealer, multiple different ways to bail out their teammates if they overcommit. OG starting the taunts. After such a strong early game, all collapses just from that one fight inside the jungle.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
It's hard when you have to rely on Blink Daggers versus Veno Zeus. Really is so difficult.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
OG just taking these objectives, and, you know, Brame just trying to sort of figure out what the next best move is going to be. That they have got Skadi finished, BKB finished on the 2 cores.
They do.
And they do still have that team fight. You know, they are going to have the high ground. If they can get these big RPs, get them under the tier 4s, maybe they'll have the setup, but they've got to be pretty huge ones. And as we're seeing with OG's heroes, that a lot of these fights have been spent very split up at quite a distance. It's not going to be easy for Brame to ever really jump multiple heroes.
And OG's team fight is very strong. If Brame doesn't land it on multiple different heroes, like OG's, the long-lasting team fight will just be a win. Even though they rely on God Strength, they have Venomancer, who's level 20. So the Plague Wards, we already saw so many of them blanketed around, has the talent now on top 2. Very potent. And he's going for a Hex. He's going to have it pretty early on, so lots of different forms of disable, and almost the top 3 net worth in the game. The Tiny's farm, as we mentioned, Wish, after such a strong start, has just completely stagnated. Can't really find many places to farm outside in the base. The 3 of them bottom trying to just farm in the safest place possible, which is the enemy side at the moment because of how OG's playing.
OG, very much ready to go for the high ground here. Yeah, instantly got strength from Madara. He's ready to push. Ready to see what Brame's able to pull out in this defense. As Skylark. They've got to try and get him out of this. They're going to turn over towards Saxa. We'll get tossed underneath the tier 4s. Another hook shot, though. Saxa, he's back out to safety. Saxa's away. They'll turn towards Madara. Madara, he has got that Aegis, so he's going to be ready for round 2. No God Strength, of course, though, on the way back up here for him.
They got an RP.
So they can take him down. They have the control. They'll get him deep up to the high ground, but Madara's got the BKB. Even without the God Strength, he's more than happy to punch back. Will now start to step away throughout the remainder of the BKB.
Stominen. Has to go all the way back to base and may still die. Okay, Spirit Vessel does end. But they get forced away from that Veno ult. Seb just covering it just in case there because he was a little worried for Madara getting skewered under, but they will be able to back away. And that's the RP forced. So now they can just chill out for a moment here on the side of OG. Even though they don't have their ults, they know that RP is that big function for Brame to actually catch people. And now they don't have it. So chill out, go farm the map. Should be in a good spot now here. Brame just stuck inside their base, and there's ward coverage all outside the base too, as we see. Right up top, right in the mid lane as well too. So anybody who steps outside, it's spotted immediately from OG to set up. Spartan.
Brame, they're stepping out here.
He's trying
Spartan,
to sneak.
Skylark, and Wish.
There's just the Venom wards everywhere.
It's hard to get in.
He can't get past.
No, the nature of the Veno definitely
see them.
causing a lot of struggles here for Brame.
They see Spartan. Not going to go for him, though. Now Madara is quite massive. Satanic also finished on top. Hookshot. Does not quite connect.
Yeah, and we see this as well from Wish. I mean, this is what he does have to do, right, against these wards, so he can try and sneak in and get a blink off.
I don't know what the other option would be. Like as we said, his game stopped 10 minutes ago. He was having a perfect game and then just unable to do much of anything because of, you know, just that matchup. Madara.
Right.
Oh, he gets the BKB off.
He does. And Skylark still managed to get the skew off in time. Saxes in with the control onto Spartan. Spartan will die. See Focus trying to get in on this. Has to use the rage to simply get back. There's Madara pushing on. It's tier 3 gone. Racks are exposed.
They might have to do some toss-back skewer shenanigans into the fountain at this point. But it's so hard versus
they can find
Venom.
Wish.
Oh, they're trying for it.
He gets hexed immediately. Seb's got the hex done. Jumps in, gets hexed by Seb. That's Wish gone, and that's the barracks down as well on the bottom lane.
They tried.
They're ready to keep pushing on. Oh,
the RP.
Skylark gets the RP here, gets them underneath the tower, but is there any follow-up? Madara taking heavy hits here from the tier 4s. It's enough to bring it down. They take down Madara, over towards Seb. Seb's trying for the TP out, but they've got the damage. Brame, they'll hold on here as Skylark's able to come in with the big plays, finds the 3-man RP under the tier 4 and secures them the 2 core kills. Brame will hold on.
Saw an opportunity, takes it immediately. Does get the 2 cores. Does cost them the buybacks, but at least able to slow down that onslaught of OG. Now they maybe can get outside the map, but still limited vision for them. And still is quite scary. They were trying the toss back. I saw the way they positioned themselves. That's why Wish blinked in.
We saw the,
I saw where the Magnus was positioned. He was ready to go for like a base skewer play, but yeah, the instant hex, they did not expect that coming up from the Veno, who also has a psychic headband, so these hexes will come from a distance.
Yeah, it's going to make it much harder for, Wish as we saw, and of course Skylark as well. You know, one of these two jumping in is going to get caught pretty much instantly every time they're by Seb.
Focus does get a good injection of gold, though, that he did need. Level 22 now, after having the Scotty finished up.
And look at the tower. More gold, continue to flow back in for Brame.
I'm so strong, guys. I'm so strong. I'm so strong, guys. I'm so strong.
I'm gonna keep saying that. I think that's my favorite one. I just love that. I'm so strong, guys. I don't know why. It just really amuses me. Spartan. Going for a cheeky play here.
Oh,
Jetpack.
He's out of the map.
He's soaring over the haters.
Look at him go. Wait, what? It's just
It's the new Phoenix.
Yeah.
He's even like Sox is laughing. A rare thing that you don't see, by the way. Usually he doesn't show that much emotion, but. Like Spartan, I think Spartan was still looking for him. He's like, "What the hell just happened?"
I mean, I think he was. I think honestly, because it's one of those things. Because you imagine the jetpack sort of tied to constantly having to move, but what it constantly propels you forward.
Yeah.
What like the sun rays. So
exactly.
you can of course TP while sort of just letting the jetpack drift you onwards. Yeah.
It's the first time I've seen somebody actually do that, though. With
I've never seen someone do that, but yeah, makes sense of course if it does work that same way as when you start moving in with the sunray.
And we see the nullifier is finished up for Lifestealer, so these pesky 4 staffs that have been saving some people will be great, and also versus that Aeon disc of the Zeus, if he's able to get on top of him, that'll be very effective.
That's going to be nice, and against the Warcry, right?
Yeah, the Warcry too, that's actually true. That's a big one. Yep.
Yeah.
Constantly does apply, even through BKB, important thing. That Dispel.
OG getting closer to getting ready for another high ground attempt here.
And I just want to clarify, of course, if the nullifier is pre-BKB, of course, that's what I mean.
For sure, yeah. You can't cast it through it, yeah.
Up to the high ground. Dara has the Orb of Destruction, too, that we didn't point out, so Siege is a little bit easier. The instant Hex!
There it is. And now with the Ice Blast coming in, they're ready for the turnaround. They've taken down Skylark. Focus trying to back away, but the first hook shot comes in here from Saxa. Focus. They're trying to toss him back to safety as Wish comes in. We'll be able to toss Focus back far enough that OG won't be able to continue to chase him. Topson still finds Spartan, though, with the Thunderbolt. There's OG. They got the space here. They'll take a second set.
Dude, this Hex is paying off massive dividends for Seb. Just instantly hexing the RPs.
Just too farmed.
Yeah.
Mid lane as well.
They don't have two heroes.
They have no buybacks.
They have to just watch.
See what they can do. Can they do anything to get them away? I mean, Wish
is trying.
They're in. Focus. They get the control onto Madara. Madara forced out to the side. Focus wants to chase, but he can't stay on top of him as he loses Wish. Wish out for 90. No buyback on him as they'll be pushed all the way back to the fountain. OG, they can find the Megas as they'll have Skylark back up in a second. Maybe they'll try one final fight here, Brame. I mean, everything on the line, of course, in these best of ones. They'll fight to the end, but they are going to be playing up against the Mega Creeps now.
They fought so hard in the early game. It was such good early movements from Brame, but did not respect the Venomancer around that around that bottom jungle area. Seb really just took over the game after that. Yeah, Madara tips him as well. Yeah, very appropriate.
Yeah, this Veno is... I mean, we saw it just with the draft as well, right? They were able to set up the game to just be a perfect one here for Seb, you know? The only real issue being that the rage of the Lifestealer, but even then, with the farm that Seb's got, it doesn't matter, because even during that rage, you're never going to get anywhere close to killing Seb right now.
Yeah, the double reliant Blink Daggers from mid and off lane. Yeah, that's where Veno just thrives. Absolutely. It's now the Roche. Next thing on the menu. Quickly dies. Don't even have to use the God Strength. Up to level 25 now on Madara as well.
Well, you know, it's all going to come down to some sort of RP tosses into the fountain. They do find Saxa.
Good chunk of gold.
Here. Well.
Yeah, I mean, take the skewer range. Good stuff.
Oh,
Skylar.
yeah, for sure.
You need these.
Yeah.
You're just going to need to rely on them.
You got to get him in the fountain. You've got you know, and this is somewhere that OG has liked before. So you know that. We'll see if they can get them into the fountain.
OG gets blessed on their lineup there. They get the Timeless Relic, the Flicker, and the Spell Prism. In my opinion, the 3 best tier 4 items that you can get.
Saxa's going to buy back as well. He's done with this one. He wants to close it up here.
They got Mega Creeps coming in.
Yeah.
Brame cannot hold the Mega Creeps. Only one of their heroes can actually deal with it nicely. His Wish, he's got Shadow Blade. See if they can get some huge tossbacks into Fountain, because they're going to need a couple of them to even have
That's what it's going to be. I mean, which hero do you toss back and get in the Fountain to totally break up the fight for OG? Like, who's the biggest value Fountain?
Sven doesn't have Aegis. You go for the Sven.
You get the Sven in.
But he gets caught. Wish.
Oh, they need Wish to be ready to jump.
You can't move. The Vortex, dude, the AA Shard Vortex plus Veno wards, like, you can't play. Your blinkers just cannot play Dota.
You might as well just sell your blink. It's just... Good luck blinking. Focus.
Goodness.
Oh, he's got a rage. They've got the Ice Blast coming over. Watching Madara.
Wish, again,
he just can't get in. He can't get in on this, and he's been hexed, Wish. I put the fortification. Shaman unable to get back into the fountain in time. Wish having to put the BKB to get back. So put the hook shot in onto Focus. Focus forced out to the side. Trying to get in on top of Seb. Madara just looking at trying to focus closing the game. Skylark trying to pull them in towards the fountain here. Topson, a few impetuses. Topson will go down the once. That's the Aegis God. See Focus. Still standing on top of Madara here. He's into the creeps. Madara looks over towards Wish. Wish has been caught, and Wish does not have buyback. The Ice Blast is coming in onto Shamanan and onto Spartan. Spartan's going to get the skewer onto Madara. Some heavy hits here from the fountain, but it's not enough. Madara is able to step out of the fountain. The agent is falling as OG will take this best of one. They get the win here against Brame. As well, the second half, when it came to the team fight and the synergy, it was all there for OG this game. Some really nice early moves from Brame. but it wasn't enough. This game slipped out of control very fast. As the Seb Veno, it was just too disgusting for them to deal with. They could not deal with this Venomancer at all.
And they honestly played these first 16 minutes quite perfectly. Like Wish getting control of every single rune, playing super aggressive. But yeah, one mistake around that fight, bottom Seb. I swear to God, he got like 3,800 gold or something from that fight. The ultra kill, he just controlled the whole area. And yeah, the XP. He was what? I think level 13 or something before the fight. End of the fight, level 17. Oh, it was close from Brain, but OG, yeah, with this stable last pick of the Veno, the constant big poke from the outside, stopping these Blink Daggers, it ends up being successful.
It does indeed. And well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, OG will have the first victory here in these best of one tiebreakers as they'll take this best of one against Brain.
They do indeed. Not a great start for Brain, but a great start for OG. We're going to break down that game and prepare for the next best of one. That's the best of one. Which is Tundra versus OG. We'll do that, of course, after a quick break. The first game of this tiebreaker round robin with 3 games goes the way of OG, and that means Brame is really hoping for OG to lose the next game. Otherwise, they have to guarantee play for elimination in the last best of 3. We're gonna find out though before we move on to our next game. Let's first break this one down. It started looking quite good for Brame. Wish's Tiny set a high tempo T, and I thought for a hot minute there that he was just going to run away with this game.
Yeah, I think Brame's entry to the game was incredible. The way that they played around this Tiny with the Ench and the Grim, shutting down the kind of the mid to bottom portion of the map. But unfortunately for them, it was that constant realization. It was like, wait, we're not really killing the Sven or the... We're killing Zeus, but it doesn't really matter. And that kind of the ticking time bomb that is. And I just want to say that this was probably one of the best games from OG in which they utilized 4 staffs to keep cores alive. How many times did Madara kind of run in and then suddenly he was forced up a cliff, or he was double 4 staff away from the lifesteal? And that slight disconnect gave him that kind of comeback potential to enable Seb and that kind of poking damage. So yeah, it was really fun team fights to watch, honestly.
Yeah, one fight to rule them all. It feels like that bottom fight was
the
ridiculous.
long one.
Yeah, Seb gets like a 3-4-man ult, and then the Venom wards everywhere. Wish walks back into a Venom ward and kills himself. Kind of ends the game right there, pretty much.
I thought Seb played exceptionally well.
Yes.
He definitely made sure that his team is, at the moment, they're safe. Depending, obviously, on the next result, but they are, they beat their first opponent. That's how it works in the tiebreaker. With the first team to lose to both other teams is the one that's out. And so far, that cannot be OG. So for them, either we're going to go for next round or we're going to go safe.
Well, that's the next series then.
Yeah.
If they win the next series, then the final best of 1, loser gets eliminated. But
yeah.
If OG lose, infinite tiebreakers are still on the menu.
And important, Zeus wins his
first DPC game.
Yes, he did. They had a great lineup to go with that, and Perch would like to talk more about the lineup. Thank you.
Thank you, T-Governor, for stopping your mumbling eventually. Appreciate that. Okay, Wish had a great early game, obviously. Good Avatosses. Seemed like Zeus was a little bit in the can here, not going to have a great time. And even though he did get a bunch of kills, what was important was that OG didn't completely lose their lanes. And even though they lost Veno, and Soxa ends up getting killed as well with this pull, what's important is that the stack was successful. Veno rotated over after his respawn to make sure those weren't being taken. And that was one nice advantage that they had, is that without Empower on either Tiny or the Lifestealer, taking the Ancient stacks, it wasn't really going to happen. So Sven basically had a decent game as a result, despite everybody else kind of dying. He uses his ultimate here at 9 minutes, gets a little bit of a freebie moving through the jungle into normal farming patterns, spots out Magnus at pretty low health, gets a bunch of hits, and Skewer low ground gets killed. Nice freebie there for him. And then after that great big fight at the bot lane, I'll skip over that because it's pretty long, but OG basically just had perfect heroes for controlling the map. The important thing that they did is that despite Tiny being a big terror, they put hoods on all their vulnerable important heroes except for Zeus. They put one on the Venomancer and they put one on the Clockwork. And at that point, Tiny's burst, his definite strongest point about his hero, just doesn't feel nearly as strong, because then you can't jump in and kill somebody. The only really vulnerable person on the team ends up being AA as a result. So now they get to move across the map methodically, control things with Plague Wards, which also counters Blink type heroes, and it just makes Brain feel a lot so much more difficult for them to engage. Even getting the Lifestealer into the fight is really difficult, because you can't just Infest Bomb on somebody, because he went for these like hybrid tanky defensive items with like the Halberd into the Scotty, which he kind of needs against the Sven, but Sven's net worth just feels so much stronger when they have this really strong map control. Here's Tiny even trying to invade a little bit against the Clockwork, but they just make it so difficult for them to get in there. So at some point, OG basically just gets to play the team fights really safely. Run in Madara in the front. He gets to be super tanky with his high armor from Warcry, basically making Lifestealer not feel that strong. And while the first engagement didn't work out, eventually they do find the hook shot on the Tiny over here with the Ice Blast, and that's going to open up an opportunity that gives OG the ability basically to just control the map with creep cutting, Veno wards, and destroying all 3 creep waves so that they could eventually force high ground. So really well played by OG.
Well played by OG indeed. Can I do it again, but against a different opponent? That's what we're going to talk about now, because their next opponent is already waiting. We're very close to the draft, but let's talk a little bit about Tundra first, because we mentioned it before the very first series. Tundra has been stepping it up, T.
Yeah, Tundra is a very methodical team, and you can never really count them out of a game because they always feel like they have some type of presence, even if they're a little bit behind. So I think how OG just won that first game, Tundra isn't going to allow that, and it's going to be a much closer game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they have a lot of what I like to call brain players, like snaking, Fada, and 33. They play they're all about like these crazy concepts of Dota, of ways to come back in the game. They're also very positive about looking for these type of like outlets. Even when they are behind, they always find a way to come back in. So I'm really looking forward to this one because I think Tundra's been one of the more impressive teams in the last few weeks for me.
And when Tundra and OG faced earlier on in the league, it was actually a very close 3-game series that Tundra ended up taking, but that was, I mean, that was even at the start of their, it was like their 4th series. So I feel like since then they have still improved already so much.
Agree. And it's, it's OG is using a stand-in, so it is going to make a big difference where Tundra is using their full roster that they've gotten better and better with.
How much did we feel like Madara was a difference from Ana, what we see from OG normally? Because this first game that we watched just now, it felt very, very solid from OG. Sure, the start didn't look good, but the plan was in place to make sure that good start that Wish had never really got too far out of control.
I think the main thing is Madara played with confidence and trust, in which some Sven players in that type of game, they would be like, oh, I can't go in here, I need to wait. And I feel like it feels like he's been playing with the team for like 2-3 months, because that's how fluid that game was and how he was getting into the fight, but then using his team to also survive and then prolong it. So I think he's already playing equal to kind of how Ana has performed in the tail end of the season. Maybe, of course, Anna's first couple series, he played it phenomenally, but of course, he kind of did fall off a little bit. So I think, Madara has easily stepped up to the occasion.
Looked good, and they first 2 picked his hero, right? They just put it out there. They just put the Sven, and he looked good on it. So I was happily impressed by him.
I think that's also a little bit of a result of him having worked with No-Till, and I believe also Seb a little bit on OG Seed.
Yeah.
Will have a big impact?
For sure, 100%. Like, if you need to subscribe to that team's idea, and if you've already had that chat, many months ago, you don't have to have the chat again. Like, you pretty much know, that's how you operate.
Yeah, it's like you can step in without missing a beat. Let's see if OG can do that again, or maybe Tundra will break OG's spirit in this game. It will be a best of 1 coming your way here after the break. our second best of one in this round-robin tiebreakers to see which one of these 3 teams will be relegated down to the lower division if everything continues the way we expect it to next season. We got Tundra, we got Brain, we got OG, and for this series, for this game coming your way, it's OG versus Tundra. In the season itself, Tundra was able to take a 2-1 in favor of OG and has since grown even more as a team. On the other side, OG, they're playing with the stand-in. And I make it sound like Tundra are heavily favorites in this best of one, but I don't think that is the case. I feel like this is a pretty even game, T.
Yeah, this is incredibly close because I think, of course, OG just plays a game.
Yeah.
So they're going to run off that momentum. And then Tundra against Enigma, they played some exceptional Dota. And I think that alone puts them, like folks said in the pre-show, they're most likely the favorites to at least come out 5th out of the 3 teams.
Yeah. I mean, I just want the Dota to start. I'm just ready for some action. I'm ready for
we
teams
have
to
a
go.
slight delay with the draft. It is on its way. That's why, yeah, no, we're getting there any second now. Don't worry.
Question then, Fox. Game 1, OG, they win the game. Do you think coming into game 2, they're going to have completely new plans because it's another best of one, or do you think they'll just continue going for like a tried and tested style of like the strategy of best of one?
I think they can have a new strat. I think this one did have a lot of things that worked well together. I know Kyle, Kyle would have definitely said it. I'm sorry, I have to. We had a Veil, we had an AA, damage manipulation. So they did have their. I'm so sorry. I know. I'm so sorry. Kyle's not here, and you still get it from me. But yeah, they did go along that concept. So might go for something not of similar, like that type of one where it's like a Zeus and an AA that all work together, but something else that has this type of synergy form.
And they obviously won, and their plan worked out. It was a good plan. But they did get crushed a little bit in the laning stages. I don't know if that would have been part of their plan. Surely that wouldn't have been part of their plan.
Yeah,
right? So they would want to change something there.
Well, if the OG fans in chat, it's like, oh, it's tactical feeding, of course. The Sven was not killed. It enabled Madara to carry them. And then, of course, if you're realistic, yeah, it was a couple too many deaths. But, of course, luckily for OG, they were a little bit more effective in using the jungle multiple times actually in those fights. You saw Notal TP away just to get a stack off.
Yes.
Like that's the efficiencies OG were looking towards. And I think again Tundra, they're not going to be so kind of barbaric in their ways to collapse the map so quickly, and that's going to push them to be somewhat even.
I like that. I think that's actually a really good word because that is the definition for me of brain.
We can say that multiple times.
We've got Spartan on the team. It's the definition of barbaric. It's a go. It's just like, but Michael, go. What are you doing? You better get those ancients. Guys, we can't get the ancients. Okay, Spartan.
He's like tapping the score like, look, 15 kills. This could be 30 if you stop questioning me, like.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Tundra will approach it with more of finesse. Finesse. I like finesse.
Finesse versus barbaric. That's why talking is your job.
Oh, look at that. It was spinning as arms. Oh. Sorry. I don't know I'm so happy with using 2 words, but...
Yes.
They were good ones. I was happy. They were appropriate.
Who do we feel is going to be the MVP for Tundra to look at? Maybe not the MVP in terms of the game, but like in terms of... We saw Wish, obviously, in the first game.
Let Fog say it, because you already know the answer.
You already know what I'm going to say.
He's going to say Snake King, because he's biased.
It's
a little bit biased. He used to be on the team with Snake King.
That was a long time ago. I saw the King grow up. No, but he was... I did, yes. He was a little wee lad. No, he
was actually a little
He was very young. He was Charlie's son, as we used to call him.
Just to ensure people aren't confused, when he says the King, he doesn't mean Sumo, he does mean Snake King.
The real King. Thank you very much.
Ooh, controversial.
No, how long did you play with him? Quite long.
Yeah,
on Dignitas?
On Dignitas, bottom, and then we also played even on Han together too. We've always been like kind of close as friends, but I think he was actually crucial to joining this team because he's a powerful voice in game. I think people always say that about him, and he's really changed. He's like picked up his act together because he used to be, we can all say like a bit toxic, like we all kind of have been when we were younger. I watched like he's like the most PMA player ever now. He is super positive. I feel like that's really like just amazing to go into a team like this, especially when you have a player like 33 who can also sometimes lean toward the toxicity levels, but he can bring the team together and rally them. And I really do think he's been important. Yeah, I think
they needed that.
Important.
Yeah. I mean, because you're saying that for 33, I know the same has sometimes been said for Fad. I know he mellowed down a lot.
Yes, he did.
In the captain role. And we talked to him about he also made efforts to improve as a captain, to know like when to talk, how to make the team comfortable. And I think, Snake King helps a lot being that extra cornerstone. But in game, is he the one that sets the tone? Because I wanted to point out, and I was hoping you guys were going to go to 9 with this. No.
I was going to say, I think the issue with any team that Fada 33 have been on so far have been like they start really strong, but then they kind of peter out eventually. And that's why I kind of like what Fog was saying about snaking is when you have another voice, you know, have 3 lads who are going to be coming in with the kind of the drafting idea or kind of the game plan idea.
Yeah.
And the main thing in Pro Dota, if your shot caller is having an off day and you don't have that backup plan, your team will crumble. So if you kind of have 3 guys who are probably going to be at some point able to shot call in your game, an off day isn't going to feel that bad because someone's going to instantly pick it up. And that's why I think having that addition of a shot caller is going to help.
I just realized that Tundra, the game that they won, the last game of the best of 3 series, they did go for the Veno jungle. Even though they won,
I've never... For the first time in Dota history, this best of 1 to decide their position in upper division will be decided by Venomancer. Will Seb get it or will they jungle it on Tundra? Find out soon when the draft hopefully pops up. Shiva, where is the draft?
Oh, we've been told any second now. But
any second now.
You know,
it's over.
It's been you can walk over. You're not tied to a
I think
cable.
it's starting. It looks
it's like a Monday, right? Monday
yeah,
vibes?
it's Monday.
It's Monday
starting,
on the Saturday. It's the Saturday's
and
Monday.
that means we can use the whole studio. We can walk around.
I can just leave too.
Lobby is
Lobby
up.
started.
Oh, look.
Let's
Hey,
go.
yo, Fog, do you want to do the double analyst cast?
Double analyst cast? That's. I feel like people would suffer.
They would hate it. Yeah, that's true.
Wait,
Bring me
there's
Owen.
also 2 PCs. You can do both casting with Owen because Owen's calling in anyway.
How for me to tank a cast?
No, you'd make it even better.
No, thank you, Fog. We're back again on the panel. Yeah, they are in the draft right now.
Yep.
Okay,
But
then we should be seeing the draft, right? Are you sure that is the draft, or is that you
was-
being left into a lobby that is killed that is now restarted? No. Let's go.
that.
Okay, we do have the Brood ban. Tundra has been known to play Brood for 33, so that makes sense. Ancient Separation, which is interesting to see Tundra ban it, because they were the ones to pick it first every single time, especially in their series against OG. That was kind of like Fada made the rise of the Ancient Separation, that series specifically.
So OG has first picked AA throughout DPC, but also this could be a development of your preparation coming into the best of 1s. You have the advantage as Tundra. You get to see both your opponents play straight away. And if you get to see that, then you can maybe adjust your bans.
Sorry, this is just the first time I've seen Tundra's background not in pitch darkness, because usually they're playing really late at night. But you know,
Oh yeah, it's daytime.
He's got like a coffee and everything.
Nice little frappuccino.
Oh, I am so jealous.
Yeah, so I think they actually have like a whole hotel kind of office
so
room.
conference room?
Conference room, that's the word.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, looking
and
good.
I hope to see that 9 is still with them on the thing as well, because I know he's in the same hotel, but it took him a while for being able to move to around freely in the space.
3 most popular supports, in my opinion, at the moment, all taken out of the game. So we're gonna have to see some variety.
Means all the offlane is now available in the first phase.
Yeah.
Yes.
OG has first pick, so potentially Tundra can be doing the offlane +1 that has been so good for Alliance and VP and what gave them the championship status of their regions.
What's it gonna be? How do you build your draft board?
I mean, they could always open up with a Tiny. I don't feel like that's particularly bad. We did see them, of course, open up with Madara's hero in the game 1. They went for the, I guess, second pick that was, but still.
Go for the casual. Actually, no, that doesn't feel good, actually.
What were you gonna say? Which one?
I was going like Earthrick Morphin style, you know? Go for a classic OG combo.
I just hope they're not going for Hoodwink.
Yeah, I agree, wholeheartedly. Unless maybe it's Satsuka playing at 4 with some big beefy offlane.
We have seen Saksa play at 4 2 times, and he lost both. Oh, I think that's a great opener, actually.
So then,
What's the word? What's the word, T? I'm sorry.
Damage manipulation.
But it's true. ET is one of those heroes that can just make your cores that much stronger. Also, the lane can just be won very quickly. Here, you soak all the pressure, you hit 3, you're able to bully most offlaners. And it's a flex pick.
Yeah.
Can go in multiple different roles.
Speaking of flex pick, would Veno also be a first phase type of hero if you can run it both 4 and mid and offlane? Not mid, I misspoke.
realistically, no, because there are so many counters to it in regards to like illusion heroes, heroes that can maybe invade and pressure said jungling. I prefer as a second phase, you see 3 or 4 heroes and it's like, gotcha, you now have to deal with the threat of this, you know, flex or it's not good enough. It's not lane winning.
Do you want to? No, I'm just thinking, like, do you want to pick one really good core versus ET? The Sven is always a really good option, and TA. I know it's a really big popular hero right now. I don't know how much Tundra really likes to play it, but
they have not played it this season on
Can't they just go like Oracle +1 and then ensure that this ET can't be like the Seb ET in the off lane? It secures your safe lane because OG have done that before. But then you're opening Oracle.
Oh yeah, you open Oracle, and the thing about Oracle versus ET that I'm gonna kind of spoil some stuff here, but it goes both ways. Mid game also, if you get stomped with False Promise, the stomp is actually a 5-second stomp because you can't actually do damage to the hero, so you can't wake them up. And it's not, once you have your Aghanims, you can't actually dispel.
Sure.
So it goes both ways. The lane is annoying, but in game, ET is actually very good.
I wonder who we cannot see in the dark here. Is it my screen that is just not allowing me to see which person is hiding?
No, someone is hiding.
Someone's hiding.
Hiding, big time. Unfortunate.
Fair play. They go for the tree. They go for the puck. They have run this combination before against Liquid. It didn't really work out that successfully. But I can see it. Tree's a really good lane securer, especially with the leech build.
Puck's so early though. I'm not crazy about this. I've been seeing this hero just lose. I don't really like it so much.
I like tree, but the puck I'm a little bit questioning. And here we go. Yeah. So it gives the issue with the puck is just a free pick for OG.
Yes.
When you pick like double flex or you pick flex plus strong offlane, it's kind of awkward to want to show something. But because of this puck pick and the lack of versatility for Tundra with this hero, they used to run at 5, but now in DPC it's been mainly mid. OG goes, okay, cool, we can just go for our tiny.
Yep, go for the lane Punisher and go for the game Punisher. If you get the toss on the puck, you can just combo. And with ET, it's really nice because now you have better kill threshold. I didn't say the word.
No, don't worry. Yeah, no,
we're
good. We're in the clear.
I changed it up a little. So they're going to ban the Veno because that's very likely that mid tiny. So they don't want it to just be game ruined as we saw last time. Even though Wish had a 7-0 start, I think he ends the game like 7-4 because Veno gets online. So covering themselves with that. And that's the active Thompson hero that we do like to see.
We did see the tiny for wait, is it the wrong team?
What are you looking at?
Well, didn't Thompson play tiny twice against Liquid the other day? Yeah, I think so. They lost both games. So I remember him setting a decent
We are in the
tempo.
losers tiebreaker, so losses are pretty expected.
I guess so.
He also, what was he? He was up against, wasn't he up against something like really similar?
I will be able to check.
It was either percent damage or it was like the Venos and stuff. I can't actually remember exactly the games. We've had a lot of Dota.
Yeah, we got so much Dota.
OG Liquid. Thompson versus TA for Sumail.
Oof.
And that was the Brood game, so that was a tricky one.
And it was against a Morphling as well,
yeah,
right?
And then the first game, it was, Tiny versus Morph Mag and Snap Ember.
Yeah, Liquid drafts are just filthy in those games.
Yeah, it's like Ember, I think, also is one of those that I think has hidden potential if you're able to run it like that in side lane, because you get Flame Guard Absorption talent. Tiny is useless versus you.
It will be interesting, though, this second phase of ban. OG often looks towards asking Thompson what you don't want to play against when they first phase his hero. So if these 3 bans, they could be a big indicator of the anti-tiny heroes.
Okay. I was going to say, okay, so this is a little bit of an oldie, but I'm going to put it out there for you.
All right.
Tree Phoenix. Phoenix is a hard counter to Tiny Core.
That's true.
And it already has the tree set up. I don't know how much people are really picking the Phoenix much anymore, but I do like it quite a lot versus both of these heroes.
The only issue is Tundra's second pick. So they're going to have to reveal it quickly, and OG will then have one final pick of the second phase to counter it.
That's true, and then they can just go something like a Jug, and then it's very strong overall versus the draft. Okay, yeah, that's
But in theory, it's still a warranted combo.
Because I haven't seen Tree Phoenix at all, but Phoenix overall versus Tiny. We used to see that when Tiny was picked every game at TI, people were just picking Phoenix, and it's like, oh my god.
It's what actually got Brame to being from that kind of open qualifier team to finally qualifying. They used to run Tree Phoenix a lot too. So.
Possibility. Take out the Dark Seer.
For Tundra, the key thing is they need to have improved their entry to the game with this tree. The last time they played it against, it was Liquid. I feel like Fighter didn't really have the biggest laning presence that we've seen trees maybe in Chinese region. Exactly, yeah.
That one was weird.
It's like they didn't have Leech Seed. I think he went for Living Armor. He was playing kind of behind us. So I feel like as long as they have better entry to this game with this tree, then it should be good.
That game was a disaster, to be fair, too. I think the game was over at 5 minutes in. They were like 7K
That's the
behind.
point.
So, yeah,
0 to 5.
Yep. So again, trying to cover the Tiny, make sure he has a good game. Also, a hero that ET hates to play against in-game, Lifestealer. So they are covering their bases on OG. We see Tundra banning out the heroes that work really well with the ET. The Gyro, as you have both damages, and same thing for Morphling, who gets amped up in both ways. And he can turn into ET later with Aghanims, and then you have a free BKB Morphling with a plus 500, plus 300 something damage, etc. So, like those bans.
Yeah, they go for the Medusa as the last ban.
Okay.
We saw, of course, that ignored in the previous game, but still very much a scary hero.
Yeah, I like this ban just because when you have this opening, it's not a lot of forward pressure, and then ET, of course, will just utilize the jungle, make so many stacks. You can never contest. You can't clear camps really that quickly, specifically Ancients, that is.
you might suffer a little bit on the damage front when you do reveal these two heroes. Tree, not the most damaging hero. Puck, if you go the Witchblade build, you can actually start scaling in damage, but besides that, your damage is just flat out. And so Timber versus the double strength core.
And that's kind of an indicator towards why the bans for Gyre and Morphling. These are two heroes that can lane really well into Timbersaw.
That's a good call. Ooh, Tree Armor plus Timbersaw.
I feel this does set up OG for a pretty okay jug pick. You will have to quickly go Manta, and of course, it doesn't feel great into Tree Puck, but at least laning into the Timbersaw. The flip side to that could just be a Slark pick with a really strong 5. Again, Madari, I've been looking at the kind of what he's been playing in pubs. He hasn't played any Pro Dota. He's been touching all the carries. He's been really going around the shop, so.
Ooh.
So it's potentially ET offlane, Lina 4.
Yeah,
tiny mid. I kind of feel like that.
Keeping it flexed.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
We did have 9 Lina also in the last series that Tundra played. It worked out well. I'm going to be curious. Oh wait, that's the wrong team. My bad.
No,
still flexible though.
Still flexible. We know Topson can play.
There's the snaking hero.
Yeah.
How I like that.
I guess the only concern with this pick is simply OG now can fully pressure Timbersaw because Enigma naturally will be playing towards jungle, and it does put Timbersaw on an island. But it gives that scaling where the Timbersaw absorbs so much pressure in the map that Enigma will have a free game. There is no cancel right now.
2 different percent-based damage heroes too versus these 2 strength heroes right now is going to be strong.
I guess now you realistically want to put ET into more of a 5 role, sacrifice him.
Agreed.
Tiny's just a normal mid, whatever. Lina's your 4. You then pick up a 5 and carry to remain. The question is, what carry do you want to play into a Timbersaw for laning phase, but then also to somehow deal with an Enigma later on as well?
Can they go for something? Can they just do the clock rig again? And then you actually can run like a Lina 3. I know Seb's ran it before.
Oh.
It's a way to cancel Black Hole. It's good to get on top of these heroes. It's a little risky.
We did play Particle, and we did come to that conclusion that Lina 3 could be good.
Elder Titan 3. Oh, they'll go for Wraith King?
They'll go for the safe.
And people in chat might be going, he picked Strength Hero into Timbersaw. Wraith King's actually one of the few Strength Heroes that deals well with Timbersaw because he can clear the wave, he spawns his own skeletons, and he just plays a little bit further away. He also has a little bit of kill threat as well. So
it's a stun. It's a setup also for the Linas to rotate over and shut down the Timber.
And it's a little bit of an eye pick as Skeeter really likes Wraith King.
He does. That is true. Oh, that still looks pretty good for Timber. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
ET and Wraith King. I don't know how you're gonna do to force the Timber out of lane.
I'm not saying it's great. I'm saying it's not like GG lane's already over. It's like he actually has a way to play laning phase.
Because I mean, this Timber looks really, really strong. The only real threat is him just getting burst from Lina Tiny when they get their, when Lina gets ult and he's under a natural order from the ET. Besides that, his lane could be really, really strong once he gets Hood. And he will get, can just get a good lane because the Enigma's going to be denying perhaps a couple, and the Tree Armor will be effective.
Elusive heroes need to be banned out right now. They would have banned PL. They banned Void instead. I think it opens up for like a really good slot game. I think potentially what you could also do is like a Bloodseeker on OG. It counters the Timbersaw. It gives you a bit more kind of tempo to your game.
They have the AT Lina support?
Yeah. It doesn't really help with the Enigma, but you're playing more for having a bigger net worth lead and applying the kind of the dominance that your draft might be able to bring with the survivability of Wraith King.
I don't mind having a silence either. Like Puck and Timbersaw, it can be very effective versus them. I can see it.
They ban out the bat and we'll pick up the Monkey King.
So it is going to be offlane Lina, mid Monkey King.
This looks a little weird.
Wait, let me think about it before I say random words.
Wait, there's some tree cutting too, and there's ways to scout inside trees too. We've got Puck, we've got Timber, we've got Enigma.
There's a lot
Puck
of
can scout, Timber and Enigma can cut trees. This looks a little weird.
Maybe it also works the other way around. You can find the tree and protector, but that seems weird.
They've also run.
Wait, does Midnight Pole still clear trees?
Yes.
Ugh.
They've also done
massively.
They've also done offlane Monkey before, right? So we could also see that where it is just going to be. It'd be interesting to see where they go.
I don't really like the Monkey King so much. I've seen that Topson was playing it a couple of his games too.
The way that I see it is potentially they're putting Monkey v Timber in a 1v1 because they know Enigma will just play into the jungle and then they might try lane. That's like maybe the variation that I see.
That's a strong troll pick.
So yeah, it is going to be
the Monkey King and versus the Wraith King. That is a nice troll warlord.
Yeah, very good.
I think I'm liking it.
Hey, will be Seb Monkey King.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are going to go for a side lane Monkey to try and apply a little bit of fight to the Timbersaw. I like Tundra's draft.
I think I like
it. It has so much
scaling.
And I think the key thing is you have to itemize to deal with the tree.
Oh, sorry. That's where I'm distracted. Listening to T-Soldier's
I know. I get that.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
But yeah, so Tundra has to itemize to deal. OG has to itemize to deal with what a tree brings, what a pop brings, whilst also trying to beat the Timber in lane. And then you have an Enigma AFK jungling with a Troll who has good matchups. So I like Tundra's draft. OG, they need to have solid entry to the game, get an Aegis, offset the threat of Black Hole, and then they can maybe kind of steamroll this game. But
you're saying they have to steamroll?
Yeah.
Does that mean that they have, like, they should be the ones throwing the first punch every fight?
It's have strong laning presence into then quick farm, then you start taking the fight. Like, we're not going to see OG running around the map together at like minute 6, minute 7, but they're going to be really bullying up until the point where they can...
They should have a better laning stage than what they did previous game.
Yeah, for sure. They can't be... If they're like 15-2 or whatever it was in game 1, this is a game they lose, hands down. Like, they need to be the ones who are 15-2, and then they're going to be good.
Okay, I'm curious to see what this game will bring. Of course, we got Tundra with, according to our analyst, the better draft in this game. It's a best of 1. We're going to find out who's going to take it together with OD Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, Tundra versus OG here, Fogged. And yeah, for sort of you on the panel, you feel that this time round, you know, compared to the last best of 1 that we saw from OG, where you did feel that OG had this pretty scary looking draft.
Yeah.
This time around, there's a few more questions regarding some of the heroes that OG's picked.
Monkey King is a little bit of a weird one. The Troll last pick was really good. The one thing is that Tundra is a bit limited on disables until they do get ultimates online. They really don't have much stun at all coming out from the draft. It's actually only really like Malefice. While I look at OG, everybody's got a stun, Owen. So we'll see how it ends up playing out after the laning phase.
Oh, it's going to be exciting to see, especially when, you know, Tundra, as you were mentioning, you know, snaking on this Enigma.
Yep.
Yeah, this has been a hero that he's looked fantastic on, and it's also just been a hero that a lot of teams have just straight up been banning against Tundra because of the snaking Enigma factor.
Yeah, especially after we saw that game. He did have what, like a Centaur, I believe, with him. 33 was playing this already really forward initiator, so that he got like that massive 4-man black hole that I think all of us do remember around that ancient. I think it wasn't that also versus OG when he played the Enigma and he got the 4-man black hole. I believe it was. So
I think it might, because I think that was a series where they banned it first game, they let it through second.
Yes, I believe it was, because it was. I remember it right around the Ancients, the 4-man stomp into the 4-man hole, and then they just got wiped. And I think OG was winning till that point, and then they just completely got turned around. So eyes on snaking really to watch for those black holes, as we saw him have such a successful game last time. But also, OG have a lot of ways to stop it. We've got stomps, we've got stun from Wraith King, stun from Boundless Strike from far away, Tiny, ET Splitter, so many different elements to cancel. And also, the big thing is too, ET Splitter. Even if there's a BKB on Enigma, you can actually time it pretty well now because of the way they changed how fast the splitter actually comes down.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. So definitely a few things for snaking to be worried about, but I think, yeah, just from the way that they've picked it before, you know, it feels like this is just a hero that they're very comfortable with snaking, playing on and playing around, that they don't really care too much about what it's playing into.
Instant D ward, Tundra already getting that one. They did. I think they saw the Monkey King with their ward couriering into the side, so we'll be getting to get that one away.
Because the thing is, so when you play the Monkey King from the offlane, what sort of build progression are you going for? Are you going for something greedy, or do you still build for the team?
Owen, I got no idea anymore, honestly. Yeah. This hero's dead. Like, this hero's dead across all regions from what I've seen. Not really seeing it picked at all. So I'm
because he's not going to be buying like Maelstroms or Battle Furies or Ags, right? Is he? I mean, maybe he gets an Ags, but
yeah, I don't really know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
If it's going to be just some type of greedy item choice, or if he's just going to be the one who just soaks pressure. Looks like they are potentially trying to like dodge some lanes out. Maybe just get Seb versus the Timbersaw and then get the Wraith King. Actually, I don't know. Do you want to put Wraith King versus Troll? That sounds pretty horrible. It looks like they are trying to at least dodge the matchups right now. And this is the one that they're going to go for.
I feel like it's more a case of like neither Monkey King or Wraith King really wants to play against the Troll. So Seb's like, Madara, you're the stand-in. You go deal with the you go deal with the Troll lane.
Troll, the Monkey King deals with Timber better, right? So he's gonna at least be able to have a better matchup, and then maybe we will see him go for more kind of scaling items himself on the Monkey, being that double scale, so that he can actually also have a prowess in the game, just like the Wraith King is. So. All right, they're going for these lanes, and it is a double stun lane, at least. The Lina behind Madara is very strong, and it is a double melee down bottom. So perhaps Skeeter will be in a little bit of trouble if he does go into melee form. Yeah, we will see. Tops in mid, as we know, this Tiny Puck matchup, the Tiny tends to do pretty well. Also in mid game, you have a lot of different kill threat. And looking at No-Tail, he's blocking camps. Okay. So he's just standing inside of a hard camp right now, trying to make sure that Snaking can't get enabled too well. So Snaking's only got that one camp to work with, and then he has to move to his own jungle afterwards. Ooh, he lost an Eidolon. Ooh, Snaking with some miss micro there.
I'm seeing some good damage being done by 9 here mid, but Topson with a slight CS advantage. As you say, we'll probably expect to see that grow for the Tiny.
Yep, and Snaking, he's making his move across. He's like, my jungle is blocked. I gotta go play where I played last time as the Venomancer in between these 3 camps. This is like the most beautiful place to actually play as these junglers.
He's probably happy to be here anyway,
right? Best
regardless.
Spot.
Yeah.
Yep, this is the best spot in the game for these junglers because you got like 4 camps just within reach of each other. And we're seeing a lot of creep manipulation, which I think actually benefits for Madara heavily because then he doesn't have to actually lane versus a troll, but we see Skeeter also holding the wave nicely. And now the lane for 33 is quite difficult. He's versus a Monkey King. He's versus ET as well, who thrives versus this type of lane where he can just play off of his spirit nicely versus single hero. So they're punishing the greed already from the side of Tundra. As No-Tail now starts to just chase around Snaking.
Well, Snaking did swing across there. Tundra just making sure that Topson doesn't get a bottle refill around this 2-minute water rune.
And Madara will start to recover down bottom. As you see, he's missed some CS because Skeeter did pull the wave all the way behind his tower and actually deny a wave, but now he's got a wave next to him.
And No-Tail just constantly on the hunt for Snaking. Just making sure that Snaking doesn't get the chance to farm.
I think this is the way that you should just always play versus these jungle heroes, versus the Venomancers, versus the Enigma. Just run at him. Like Clockwork and ET, probably 2 of the better heroes to just do so. As can he get the taps? 1, cannot get the second. And 33 does get the lane pull back as well, so he's going to be able to deny himself also a full wave, as we see up top. Kind of similar thing coming out from Seb. So both lanes kind of doing the exact same thing. But Skeeter able to find a courier.
He's coming down a little bit too far there.
Oh, that was all his regen, I think, for Soxa. He literally got boots and clarity, so that's a pretty big courier kills. Madara only also has 1 tango down here. And he is doing quite a lot of last hits down here.
He's struggling. Yeah. Struggling against Skeeter.
Uh-oh.
C9. He's actually going to look to get rid of No-Tail. Not enough damage, though. As No-Tail's got a salve, but coming in and you know, for that last move, you know, No-Tail trying to make that play for the courier has meant that Snaking's been able to continue with the farming, and there's no longer any pressure on the Enigma.
Double stun lane, trying to put some pressure onto Skeeter, but there's a tree there, so he just completely alleviates any of that. It's gone for 2 points in the grasp. I usually don't see this. It doesn't scale that great. That's why you don't really see people mostly put multiple points inside of Nature's Grasp. Usually you see like 1, 2, 4 build if they go for that just for the lane. It's a bit interesting one.
I guess feeling that yeah, maybe the living armor as well is not too much use at the moment. You know, like this Puck and Timber, they're unlikely to. You know, Puck's got moves to get out of there. 33's tanky.
Yeah, a bit interesting for sure. The second point in Leech Seed is very effective, especially when you're a hero like Troll though. So, player preference.
On the mid lane, it's going pretty even.
Yeah, quiet start
very nicely. 25, 24. Very good trade here between the two of them. So, yeah, whereas we have sometimes seen the Tiny come out on top, Nine's having a perfectly fine time here against Topson.
Sab definitely the big winner though, right? He's just able to play the top lane freely, get multiple different denies. 33 can't actually lane verse him at all. He just keeps having to pull the creeps behind. So it's going to be a pretty underfarmed Timbersaw versus a counter and versus heavy burst damage from OG. So 33 might struggle this game.
Yeah, very much is, you know, this game, they've obviously made the call to say, you know, Seb will play the carry role and Madara's going to be more that position 3 Wraith King, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it looks like it. So then we will probably see just regular itemization from Monkey King.
I think so, yeah. Seb's going to go for the carry items.
Yep. Is Witchblade dead on Monkey Kings? I hope so.
There's no way. He is not buying Witchblade.
No, I'd imagine he just... I mean, the Midas armor doesn't look too bad in this game, but I think maybe he just goes for like the Maelstrom Skeeter. Gets the axes off pre-stun, so Madara is missing a lot. Soxa.
I mean, they're ready to turn to Saxa. Saxa.
He
pretty dead here. That's the first blood here for Tundra.
Mid also.
See what they can get done here. Dream Coil ends the orb. Thompson will put the Fairy Fire. Will get the toss off, but the Eidolons finish him off. Naroon there ready and waiting for 9. So some nice moves from Tundra early on.
And a nice move from a jungle Enigma where you see coils available.
Snaking.
Hey, great ability versus Tiny. Just Midnight Pulse. Look at his skill build. He gets that Midnight Pulse, just throws it out onto him, and it's a lot of damage versus these super tanky cores. So yeah, getting involved early on. Yeah, and he's checking runes constantly. Like even before that 6-minute mark, he was already there. That's why we see it banned so often versus this team, because he is active.
Yeah. And you like this sort of idea, just having this hero that's going to be able to quickly farm up a Solar Crest for the team.
Yep. Best item of the patch, though, for me. And I feel like I see a lot of teams just sometimes still not picking it up. It's just, yeah, it's super nice to enable your core. And did you see what item we're seeing on Skeeter, by the way? He is going for Battle Fury. They're going very greedy on the side of Tundra.
All right. I mean, I think we're seeing trolls sometimes still go that way. And I want to say as well, I think we've seen Skeeter do it before this league, and it has worked out for him.
It did.
Battle Fury trolls still.
They did, actually, that was the game when they were playing versus Team Nigma, right? When they had the Doom. I believe he did go for the Battle Fury that game. So
he did, yeah, exactly, yeah.
He'll be able to hang on to a Quelling Blade to cut Monkey King's tree, always, which is really nice. Of course, a very small kind of thing, but overall, you know that they're playing a greedier stance when they have an Enigma, so see if that does end up working. Seb has to watch himself a little bit here.
I mean, 33's got Mango and a Soul Ring, so there's still opportunities to play aggressive if Seb plays a little too low.
He's got Boundless in 3, though, so he'll be able to heal up the creep wave. Well, there'll be a glyph from 33. He won't glyph it, so Seb gets full healed, and now 33 might get turned on himself.
Put the heals from the living armor, and 33 should be fine if he can get a good angle for the chain. Oh, Thompson's here, though.
Here.
That's going to cause some issues for 33. Thompson with the rotation. Make sure that 33 is not able to get away from Saxa and Seb.
Oh, and look at Thompson. He's got a Midas queued up.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Midas Tiny.
Greed versus greed.
All right.
That is an interesting one.
All right, yeah, Midas Tiny. Okay. I mean, yeah, is this going to work? Is it going to get punished? That is the question.
Not. Maybe they're looking just for super tri-core scaling on the side of OG. I don't know. That's a bit of an interesting one to me. It's mid-tower. The first rotation, they get the deny, though, from No-Tail. So first rotation from Thompson successful. They lose their tower for it, though, but at least it is denied from No-Tail.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be one of those games where if OG gets away with this in the first 15 minutes, that I mean, they're going to have like 3 super cores, you know.
Yes.
Off-lane Wraith King carry, Monkey King, mid-lane Tiny with a Midas. Madara's looking to be in a bit of trouble here, though. Coil, they don't need the coil.
He's got the sticks.
Okay, they do need the coil. They'll drop it to secure it, but he has got the Reincarnate, so he's back for a second round. Fada taking some heavy tower hits now. Seb's going to start looking for Fada.
Oh, he looks pretty dead.
Yep, Boundless Strike down. Fada will get taken out here by Seb as OG come in with the rotation and push back Tundra.
Oh, Seb is not going carry items either. He's gonna go hood. He's just gonna tank it up for his Wraith King.
Right. Oh, I mean something very different here from OG this game, yeah. Seb to the safe lane, farming hood first on a Monkey King. The Thompson going the Midas route, and Madara having to play his game from the bottom lane.
All right, that'll be very interesting stuff.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Immediately moving top. So looking to still punish greed, even though they are going for greedy items. They are not looking for greedy playstyle, at least from Seb. That's 33. He jumps in forward. And now the TP's coming in from Thompson.
Thompson. He's got the combo. They've got the damage here to burst down. Snaking see if he can get 33 as well.
Should be okay.
Try and chase, but 33 able to get away from this. So they'll only lose one hero. Here's the rotation of the 4 from OG.
And he buys the Midas. So even while rotating, he's still gonna go for it. All right, Thompson.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm always happy to see a Midas.
I know you are.
Midas is the way to go.
Coil mid.
See mid, 9.
The DD rune.
He knows there's no Reincarnate. He can't quite do enough damage. Madara able to wait out the coil.
That is a coil wasted for sure. And it's tough for them to make these aggressive moves without coil. As we mentioned in the earlier state of the draft, not really too many disables on the side of Tundra. Really reliant on coil early on to make any type of aggressive move. So I guess that is why they're going for the Midases, right? They're like, how do they actually punish us? They have to commit ultimates to really go for much of any kills on the side of Tundra early on.
No, absolutely. Yeah, if you consider the cores that OG have and Seb going for this hood build, you know, yeah, it's these cores that you got to throw everything on to actually be able to kill. So OG know that they can definitely attempt to get away with the passiveness.
33. Keeping up another hero too. They're bringing the ET. He is tanky, the living armor. 6 bonus armor.
Coming over as well.
And he's got the hood.
They can't go on him.
Yeah. They see the rotation coming over in a second though. Saksa.
That's like a pretty dead hit.
Yeah.
Skeeter. Self up the kill. I mean, Skeeter is going to make very good timing on the Battle Fury, of course, with the lane that he's been having down here. You know, pretty much free farm, 2 kills already in the lane. The Battle Fury is going to come at a pretty record timing, honestly, if this continues.
Most definitely is. Doesn't have any stacks to work on, but as you mentioned, the lane so good versus that Wraith King and Lina. He's going to have it done. Yeah, really early. And this is going to be a very greedy game from both sides.
Well, I like the change-up as well from Madara. He did have the armlet queued up, but he said, dude, my Tiny's got a Midas. I'm just getting a radiant.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to run around with an armlet if his mid's picking up a Midas. He wants to get some farm as well.
And like looking at what he's playing against too, like sticking on these heroes, it's going to be tough. Like little instances of stun from Malefice, like a Nature's Grasp slowing down. He won't be able to actually get too many hits connection off, so does need to just do damage in the fights while he's getting kited. Seb, he's scouting.
Let's see what they can get done here. As Farda's looking to scout things out.
Ooh,
Madara,
tries to cut the trees.
He has got Reincarnate back up. See if they can proc it them once they can. Nine's also ready for the fight. He has Dreamcall at the ready. He's going to get him with the silence onto Seb. Has looked to burst Madara a second time. Seb turns with the light strike away. The Luna comes down. Snaking the splitter as well. Snaking's gone. Seb moving in onto Farda as the Wukong is out. Seb still going to try and push on to get Farda. Will manage to do so. The Saxa turns with the light strike array. Nine with a quick dodge, but Seb, he's just continuing to push back. Nine, the orb's up in a second. Can Nine actually get out of there? Seb, he's spotting him out. Nine, he's actually going to turn and try and bring down Saxa. Will manage to do so. Seb, he'll look to chase, but Nine, he's away with the orb. Reach from the boundless strike. Will catch him. No tail. He's closing in. Another orb up, but Nine's not able to get out in time. OG, they'll pick up another kill with this aggression from Seb behind the tower. Seb now 2-0-4. And could continue to push on to the tier 1.
They stood too close together, really. They got hit by, what, 3-man stomp from No-Tail into a 3-man splitter to follow up with the rest of OG. And I believe that's without Thompson the whole time, too. He's just farming it away in the jungle.
He's farming, yeah.
Huge hit from OG.
It's working out.
And he's going to have Blink any minute now, so it hasn't really delayed his timing much. And he's level 12 at the 12-minute or 13-minute mark. And the tower's taken out as well versus a Treant Protector. So really good aggressive moves coming out from OG.
Yeah, this sort of different approach here, something that we're not really seen from them before. It's looking pretty good so far. You know, if they're 7-4 with these sort of builds, 1K up at 14 minutes in, you definitely got to say that the game's going the way that you'd imagine OG would intend for it.
Yep, 4 kills for the 1, and they get a tower.
They find Farda.
And they find Farda.
Hunts him down in the trees. Another kill for OG.
The greed looks like it's getting punished here. Tundra. Skeeter going for Battle Fury. He can't get involved in the fights down bottom. He has to just farm it away. The tree cuts, as we see. Midnight Pulse misses. They have to just commit so much for Madara, and then we see them stack up. Look at the ET Spirit. Gets the stomp onto the 3 here with the follow-up. And then it's just perfect there from OG. I didn't actually even notice Thompson when he showed up to this fight, I'll be honest with you. He just showed up to like throw a tree at the Timbersaw really quick. But now he has Blink. So it can continue to be very aggressive on the side of OG. Skeeter.
Can they burst Skeeter? They're going to try. They've got the stuns.
They got him.
No, he's not going to get a chance to get the battle chance off there. Perfect lockdown from OG.
As we said, tons of stuns in their draft. Able to set it up and look at No-Tail's build. He's got 3 points in stomp, 4 points in natural order. So all that big magic damage is amplified heavily. It's working. It's working for them very nice so far here as the Tiny well above that puck. And Timbersaw's game, as we mentioned, is going to be difficult because of he's versus Monkey King and because he's versus all of this damage buff up. And there's a lot of burst from OG. So yeah, definitely looking quite difficult right now for Tundra until they can start utilizing their ults altogether. Definitely feels like they're going to be under the gun here from OG's aggression. And Madara, as we mentioned before, both reincarnates were used, but it's back up again, and he has yet to die the game.
He's been enjoying his life down here, even though he had a tough lane, you know, not the fastest of starts because of the lane.
Farda. See you later.
They're just picking up the kills now with this blink dagger timing on Thompson.
The natural
As you
order.
say, just not being slowed down at all, even regardless of the Midas. Echo Saber's going to be done pretty soon. They're looking for the big moves here, Tundra. Skeeter's going to try. Well, I don't think he can't do this.
No. You're versus ET. It's way too risky.
The mask isn't enough. Yeah.
Rune comes out. OG. It's going to be a haste bottom, so Thompson's going to be able to get that one too. And I mean, he is very farmed. The Midas has definitely paid off for him. Soxa gets the stun pre-silence.
So they can do it as... Ooh, 9. Can you get out with the sword? Oh, Seb's hunting. He's found him.
They're going to tip him. That is not worth it for the puck at all.
It's a big dive.
Yeah. Seb gets
a little too close to that tower there to get that kill.
Oh, now snaking as well. Oh! Nice play there. Good old Solar Crest, removing that attack speed.
33's come down here. They want to try and catch something. They know OG coming up to that top lane, but not really having the sort of jump when Nine's not around. He really is their big setup, this puck. Without him, OG pretty free to just step away anytime they see Tundra turn up.
Yeah, Tundra really can't do anything without Coil, as we've said a couple times here now. It is very difficult for them to walk into this huge counter initiation that OG has. OG's got 3 super farmed cores, and even like the 5-position no-tail. Look at his net worth. He almost has Yule Scepter finished. So he's going to be able to have that great counter versus the Troll Warlord at all stages of the game. Also waste, of course, Dispel Silences off of him, but mostly to just counteract Troll Battle Trance. So OG hitting some big timings here. 3k gold advantage with a triple scaling lineup. Definitely scary for Tundra. They're going to have to get some, I mean, really massive, like, black hole on top of a puck coil from snaking when he gets Blink Dagger, because it's looking really difficult for them. And Radiance, and you're done for Madara. Seb? He's going for this.
I mean, he is going for this. Can I do anything about him?
Here.
No, got the Dream Coil down.
They're leaving Seb alone. Now the TP's coming from No Tail, but Seb might already go down.
Yeah, Skeeter's just straight up on top of him. That's Seb gone. I mean, that was that was never going to work there. Very ambitious attempt onto the puck. Bottom lane.
And now there's just 3 of them.
Diving in as well, but TPs are coming in from Tundra. OG, they'll get the kill on Safada, but they'll lose Saxa for it. See if Tundra can chase any more for this. Thompson and Nora trying to get out here on the retreat. Slows out onto Thompson. Tundra, they'll be able to surround him as Skeeter's around. And Thompson, he can't run from this. Another kill. OG there off the back of a bit of a blunder from Seb on the top lane. End up losing 3 heroes across the map.
Feels like they kind of handed those to those to Tundra. They get the Wraith King out. That was Thompson's whole plan. He's just like, get the hell out of here, Madara. Make sure that you survive. But yeah, they completely swing back the net worth. Tundra's got to be very fortunate for those moves from OG.
No, I don't think Seb will be going for the puck like that again.
No.
It's a pretty impossible kill unless, I mean, even if the orb's not there, there's still going to be ways for Nine to get out.
Yeah, and now Skeeter's got a full BKB after those heals. So these constant stuns and aggression will be a lot easier for him to deal with now with his own magic immunity. Seb?
What they can do, they've got the coil.
Sox is here to
Stun
help
comes out, Nine's in with the silence. They're cutting across at 33. He's got the burst. Has Seb gone again? Another big kill onto Seb. Now Tundra, they're ready to chase again for more. Over towards Saxa, 33 goes. He's got the control.
They got him.
Another 2 kills here for Tundra. OG falling apart a little bit despite the early lead off the back of some 2 times now where Seb's been just caught out or sort of just handed himself to the opponent.
And it's right around Roche. And as you mentioned, they've got the Solar Crest so early on. Skeeter easily can finish off the Roche. Big mistakes from OG. Tundra capitalize on it heavily.
Yeah.
Thompson is continuing the split push bottom. Can probably get the tier 2. But Snaking's already setting up. Limited on mana.
I mean, OG's trying to get over here to do something. They will have the stomp. Yeah, Skeeter's not messing around.
BKBs.
Pops the BKB. Make sure that you can finish off the Roche. Get that Aegis picked up.
Tundra striking back here.
There they really are. The whole lead from OG gone away now.
They did get the bottom tier 2, though, so they can look to take the outpost, look to pressure mid as well. But do have to be careful. The ultis are up in a second here from Tundra. That coil, as we've seen, so important for them to make plays, is back available. And 9
Seb showing on the front. Let's see if they want to jump this.
Let's see. Madara is smoked, scouting around the back. They know that the troll does not have BKB or battle trance right now.
Yeah, that's true. Still 30 seconds on both of those.
And they will take away that outpost, so the experience will be denied away from Tundra for the next few moments until they can reclaim their side of the map, because them taking a tier 2 top is going to be very difficult.
Nine and snaking. They know that someone's going to potentially show for this top lane.
Yeah, they have this ward here too. Saksa, oop, gets around the tree line. Can't quite get the stun.
Nine.
Nine's in.
What? He's able to do it and get out. Nice little move there from Nine, diving in and escaping.
The glyph. They actually kill it anyway, though. Oh, nice play by snaking. They glyph with the bots onto the wave, but he demonic conversions it, so Topson won't be there. And now they jump in.
They've got the Dream Coil down onto the two of them. Nine's in. He's able to dodge the Earth Splitter. 33 and Snaking, a little follow-up as well. Snaking holding off with the Black Hole for now. Madara moving in. They've got the Boundless Strike down. Snaking falling. The Living Armor won't save him as Snaking goes down. See if they can get back in on this. Tundra. Looking to burst Madara. Madara has got the Reincarnate. They'll be ready for a round 2.
Topson's coming in.
They've got Battle Trance and BKB. Skeeter can push on. He's going to pop it straight away. In with the BKB and the Battle Trance, but OG are pulling him close to the tower. Skeeter starting to take the tower. Here's the Battle Trance coming to an end. Try and get out with the rest of the BKB, but the Boundless Strike's down. They've got the follow-up Light Strike Array. Skeeter getting low. They'll take him down the once. Nine jumping in with the burst of the back lines. They'll use the ult hit from the tree to hold OG back as now Tundra looking to retreat. Can OG get a catch on anybody here? Skeeter trying to get away. Topson. He's in with the blink. He's on top of Skeeter. Chakram out as 33 trying to do his best to slow down OG. Another glimmer here as they get Skeeter out of there. 33, he'll throw his body here at OG to take the attention away from Skeeter. Jumping for Snaking, he's in! Oh, he's got the black hole! Snaking! They weren't ready for him! They weren't ready for him at all! He's back in the game and he's straight on top of them!
They overchased. Tundra wait for the timing of snaking, and yeah, he gets a tip for that one. That blink.
Oh, they weren't ready for that. They were not ready for that at all.
And the way it all leads off.
Comes over from the tower, and that's it. 3 dead.
Bloodstone heal paying off too for 33. That was beautiful disconnect there from Tundra.
Mean, they played that so yeah. It's just sort of they're full bait there as they drag him back into the combo. Back over in the mid lane, Saxa. He's going to die solo to 9. 9 playing him behind the tower. He's got an Arcane and a Dream Coil. He's going to look to try and get another one here as he plays on aggressive towards No Tail. He's diving in. He's going to be able to get another one here. 9 with the double as Tundra. Oh, they're beating down OG here. OG may have got a bit of a lead at the start. It may seem like they were getting away with the creep, but these moves starting here with this beautiful black hole from Snaking that OG just walked straight into. And then 9 finding 2 solo kills on top of it. They're now up 6k against OG. And yes, Skeeter, he's looking to become quite a beast this game, getting all the space, all the farm, a clear 2k ahead of anyone on OG's side right now. And level 19.
And look, I mean, 9 just continuing to punish, still with the same Arcane Rune, just being so frustrating. And the way it all leads off, actually, wait, Fada's there.
He's ready for Seb. Seb's going to put the Wuko's command. They're just going to step in.
Dead.
Seb, he's gone. He's completely gone here.
They're going so
bottom
fast.
lane, Tundra's ready for more. Dream Coil down, 9 catching Saxa. Saxa's gone. 9's going to jump over to look towards No Tail. There's going to be a buyback from Seb, but they're standing here waiting for him. Seb, can he actually deal with this? Skeeter's got the BKB. He's on top of Seb. Seb's brought back straight to his death. He's out of the game. A dieback from Seb.
They've completely fallen apart.
They really have. They really have here, OG. Tundra just crushing them.
And just outnumbering them constantly. Like, you know, this is going back a few minutes now, but the way that they did that, you know, the glyph comes out from OG to bait the TP Topson in the demonic curve conversion to cancel it, and then they just continue to bring the numbers, and OG, they can't handle it.
They can't, and Seb, I mean, Seb's just dying far too many times here. You know, in a game as important as it is, where you make sort of this risk, this change up, right, where Seb says, you know, I'm going to take the priority, I'll go in the safe lane, have the favorable lane. He can't afford to be dying like this. You know, it is effectively your carry that's just losing their life each and every time here now.
And those few missteps from OG, really, like the top one where Seb dies, and then the bottom where they lose 3 heroes as well, it snowballed out of control there from them. Tundra completely took advantage of it. Yeah, and now 9, he busts out a full Kaya Sage. So now the Tiny's game is pretty impossible for you to actually go for any targets. They're all too tanky.
He's got the coil up in a second as well. They've got to be a little careful in 9. He's going to get the coil down onto the 2 of them. Tundra's heading over. Seb will be back up in 10 seconds, and OG do have TP, so they'll be able to turn up to this fight. Tundra won't be able to capitalize on the Dream Core this time round. They'll back away.
How do you play Tiny now at this point? He's the highest net worth for his team, but it feels like he has nobody he can go for. Fada's always playing in trees. There's Glimmers. Troll has way too much HP and just stands toe-to-toe versus him. Puck's too tanky. Timber's too tanky. Game feels
it's a very hard game.
Yeah.
It's a very hard game now for OG. Tundra, they're just in their element right now.
And there's a BKB on snaking in a second, too.
Yep.
So the only way that they can cancel is with an Earth Splitter. They're just running at them.
They really are. Tundra, they have definitely got the win in their sights here. There's no doubt about it now. Up 9K. OG's going to have to come out with some big moves here to try and slow down this momentum that Tundra's picked up in the last 10 minutes. It's 33. Just going to casually walk between them here.
Snaking.
Out with the Timber Chain. They're trying to get in on this. They will kill the Enigma. See if OG can do anything else while snaking is dead.
Skeeter's got
Seb
Toxin,
trying
it looks
for 9,
like.
but not enough control. Oh, yeah, see,
Look at that gold. 726 for the
that's a
solo.
lot. And now with Thompson gone, OG's got to run. No tail already very low. Seb, he's going to turn with the Boundless, and they're making their way over here. Tundra Lightstrike holds back 33, but Skeeter's just charging in. So it's 33, trying to close the gap in with the Timber Chain. Seb's able to jump to the sides to safety. Sacks up, forced back underneath his tower. Skeeter can't find any of the targets here. They are splitting up here, OG, but 33, he'll find him with the Chakram. Cuts down the trees, cuts down Saxa. Get another. We'll lose Fada for it, though. Gets left behind as Madara, Seb, and No Tail will manage to deal with him.
Seb's been sitting on the same items for such a long time now. That dieback really hurting him. He was looking to have a decent timing on the Deso, but the consecutive deaths over and over again from Tundra just hitting this amazing timing. Yeah, OG just heavily on the back foot here. And it just feels really difficult for them to recover. Like Madara, he's into a tough matchup, as we've said a lot of times here, into this Timbersaw, into this Enigma. So much damage, so much percentage-based versus this lineup. And they were doing a good job with all these like consecutive stuns and everything, but yeah, Tundra's overall draft looking very successful now.
Yeah, they're just taking over the game here, Tundra.
Yep.
Now, again, you know, it's all mid. Madara. Put him in the pulse.
He's burning.
They're going to be able to burst him the once.
And the tree
Seb! He's lost his tree! He's lost his tree! He's going to lose his life as well. Seb's dead. The black hole comes out here to control Madara. Madara's gone. The 2 cores down. There's no fight for OG to be added. Thompson also getting picked off to the side. As 33 will force them back to the base. And they're not done yet. 9. He's feeling aggressive. He wants to dive in to look for this kill onto Saxa, and he'll get it. A double kill for 9. I mean, Tundra, they're completely smashing OG. It really is.
Yeah.
It certainly seems that way. They're up to the tier 4s, Tundra. They're looking to close this one down.
The flamethrower onto the tier 4s as well. And yeah, they're looking to just end it.
They are. 9 jumping in, pushing back. No tail as Tundra. What sort of buyback's going to come out? There's only one buyback available. It's Saxa's. All 3 cores, they don't have the availability of buyback at 9. He's killing Saxa in the fountain. Diving in,
GG.
Gets the kill. GG is called. Tundra. Oh, they smash down OG here in this game. They really do. I mean, OG, they just try something completely different. They sort of switch things around. Seb takes more priority when it comes to farm. And in these sort of important best of ones, it's a big risk to do.
Yeah, and going for Monkey King. That's the other thing too, right? Like this hero, we don't see it very often. The early game looked pretty decent, but when Tundra started to get their footing, get that one successful fight, get the Roshan, OG just looked like they were completely out of it. They tried to use the Bucha Travel on Tiny to go for some type of number fight, and they just get completely devastated. Snaking with the black hole, that one black hole in 3 pretty much, that ends the game right there from earlier.
Yeah, I mean...
What a game by Tundra.
Yeah, OG trying something very, very different. Tundra just in their complete comfort zone, really, with the heroes, with the draft, with the play. It was just another day in the office for Tundra, and as we've seen in sort of the second half of this league, Tundra just looking better and better. And
they are.
And this game just another showing of that. This sort of play from OG is just not going to cut it. against a team like Tundra.
No, and you really do have to give them, you know, you have to give some of these players some respect for like the enigma, right? Like a player that, or the hero that we don't really see very often, but snaking makes it work with the team. And yeah, what
he's
a game.
A master of it. Yeah, he really is. Well, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, as these tiebreakers continue, Tundra will take this best of 1 against OG.
Love to see it. And we love to see it from where we're sitting as well. A little bit of a different
zero lighting.
Hello. Zero lighting. Yes, that's what I was aware of. Hey, I like it. Our green room power went off, so we found a different place to watch. It's actually pretty relaxing here. We are going to continue relaxing for a little bit because we're going to break down this game and, of course, prepare for our next best of 1, which is Brain versus Tundra, but all that after the break. the team that has improved most during this season of DPC. Tundra crushed it here in this best of one against OG, and they get another one of these top-tier black holes, and obviously credit to Tundra for getting that black hole, but it felt very reminiscent to the same thing that happened in their series earlier this season, where of course it also was a 4-man black hole. It was both times OG oblivious to their positioning on a pathway where Tundra was on the ball, got the black hole. I don't think it would have had a different result if they didn't find that black hole though, because Tundra at that point was already very far ahead here with T and Fogged. And I mean, sure, OG looked like they were doing a little bit better, but T, you said if they were to do well, they would have to be ahead in the first 10 minutes, and the game was even at that point.
Yeah, they were ahead. They, of course, during the cast, they mentioned the idea of maybe the Monkey King going for like a carry starter build. He opted to go for more like Aura and enabling, and then you have Wraith King kind of doing the same thing, and they collapsed the map really well. Just the issue was they're running into that eventual timer of, oh wait, there's a black hole threat. How do we deal with that? And I think, yeah, you worded it kind of well, which was OG's playstyle is very aggressive, is very in your face, but sometimes they get carried away with how are they winning, you know, the 13th fight of that one engagement, and eventually the black hole comes into play. So
they're gonna, you know, the fight's gonna move, and there's all these little choke points, I guess, on the map, Fogged, and this was a choke point, and Snaking's like, wait a second.
Yeah,
this is mine.
That's mine.
Yeah,
the beauty. That's why we call him the king. No, but honestly, like the overall draft, like that's why we were like siding with Tundra, just liking the way that it can work, and why like this Wraith King, the game just feels so difficult for you to do much of anything. It's just so many percentage-based nukes. Just Tundra's draft, sure, they lacked some stuns, but once they get their 6s online, once they get tanky enough, the over chase from OG punishes them.
Yeah, I was gonna say I honestly thought the Tiny would go for more of a kind of enabling build rather than kind of bots.
Yeah, I went Midas. Yeah.
Very greedy.
I don't mind the greed against Enigma, but as long as it's Monkey Tiny, if you're all subscribing to greed. When you're kind of half doing the greed, it falls a little bit flat. So yeah, it was a bit interesting take from OG in this game, but Tundra just playing really well.
Yeah, interesting take from OG. We're going to listen to the take from Purge on Lina.
Thanks, guys. Lina 4 is a great laning hero, but also a great disable follow-up hero. It's so good if your allies have a lot of initiation stuns for you to follow up with a stun. That way, it gives you better chances of securing kills. And Lightstrike Array is a really low cooldown once you max it out. It's only like a 7-second cooldown, so you can stun for like 2.5 seconds every 7. So if you can just stay in the fight, it's really, really good for your team. But what 9 did really good this game was punishing Lina consistently, whether that was split pushing out or getting other stuff done. And even though he does die in this case, it's kind of a sign for things to come throughout the game. Sox have put a lot of pressure or a lot of focus into pressuring outside lanes. This is maybe one of his more aggressive moves when he's still feeling a little bit better about his net worth. The overgrowth here is going to put him in a bit of a bad spot, but the cores on the enemy team are always targeting him, trying to take him down, because if there are disable follow-ups, it just makes the cores' lives so much easier here. In the top fight, similar situation. Monkey King gets killed first. Soxer runs for his life at high movement speed, but he still gets cleaned up consistently. And this is getting him further and further behind in net worth. He also, if you look at his item build, he won an Aether Lens, and he's going for Ags afterwards, then Glimmer Cape. I can't help but just think, if he had a Glimmer Cape in a lot of these mid-game fights, he would have survived a lot longer. Here he is getting ganked by 2 heroes. They did potentially have detection here, but they kill him almost instantly. And then when this long fight ends up happening, he eventually respawns. Fight's still pretty even. They're looking to go in. But watch how he plays in the engagement. He has to sit really far back, knowing that puck is aiming for him the whole time. He sits really far back, but he will move forward up occasionally, land stuns, but as soon as he does, 9 goes from on the back line. And now this HP is a bit lower. Watch how he has to play the rest of this fight. This is that big fight where there was that huge black hole hitting 3 people, but he basically just has to sit by the tier 2. He's hiding back here on the map. He doesn't even feel comfortable coming out with his team because he doesn't have personal survivability. In fact, Puck's already left. He TP back home, but Sox is still hanging out over by the tier 2, still afraid to impact. And if he actually was playing in this fight, the disables on these cores would have happened much closer to the small camp. It would have taken longer for Snake King to get here, and maybe they would have not lost this team fight so badly when the black hole came out, if Lina was able to remain on pressure.
And that didn't happen. So OG lose this one, but no worries. They won their first game, so they are, for now, safe. Our next game is going to be Tundra versus Brame. If Brame wins, we're gonna go again.
Let's go again.
Yes, we're gonna continue going until we have one team that loses to both teams. That also means that if Tundra win the next game, which from what we've seen so far seems a little bit more likely, it will be Brame that gets relegated down to the lower division, whatever that means for the next season. And that means that Tundra will take 5th place, therefore more money and a little bit of DPC points, even though it doesn't really matter anymore for the amount of points they have so far, but definitely a little bit of pride of honor there. But I want to quickly break down the series that we're about to watch then, because so far, T, give me a reason as to why this series would be even, considering, you know, Team A beat Team B, Team C beat Team
Yes,
B.
You're I was waiting
We know
for
what
that.
you
I was waiting for that to, yes. I'm a little bit worried for Brame that the series is going to be not as even.
Yeah.
Because Brame emulates OG in playstyle of aggression, and then Tundra is kind of like the anti-aggressive team in how they just beat OG.
Yes.
So I feel like Brame needs to maybe tone it down a little bit from their first game against OG, have maybe the same style but new elements, and then they can go play into Tundra. Because right now, if they go perfectly, like Tundra's game versus Brame's game, Tundra's going to come out on top like 7 out of 10 times, just with draft alone.
That's why I really like watching. That's why I was mentioning in the pre-panel thing where it's like Tundra's a really brain team. That's why I was kind of like, maybe you looked at me a little bit confused, but that's the kind of thing, because you look at their draft and you're like, this looks kind of weird, but when you put it all together, it's got this beautiful combination of being able to just break another team's aggression. So yeah, finesse is definitely the key word to be watching for them, as we see finesse from the king.
The team with finesse versus the barbaric team.
Yeah,
that's what you call Brame as well. So we're going to find out who's going to take that game. We are very close to having that draft for our 3rd best of 1 coming towards you. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break. actually final best of one here in the tiebreaker scenario that we've got for the upper division of the Western European DPC League. You're watching DreamLeague Season 15, powered by Intel, and we have a round robin with 3 teams. OG has already played 2 games, and our final game will be between Tundra and Brame. Tundra lost to OG. Tundra won for OG, and Brame lost to OG. You know what it's like. And that means that if Tundra wins here, then we're done. And we can go home. We would know that Brame is eliminated, and we would know that Tundra is 5th place. However, if Brame wins, it means we have 3 more best of ones on the horizon, because we're going to continue on until there's one team that is the definite loser. I do also want to remind you guys, there was a best of 3 between these 2 teams at the start of the season. They played as the 2nd series against each other. It was 2-0 for Brame, quite convincingly, actually. That being said, as said in the previous panel, Tundra has
drastically improved.
Drastically improved, yeah.
Also, the
totally
patch has changed.
The patch
has changed, absolutely.
That second game they played, it was the Beastmaster Ags timing. It was also the PL.
Oh, yeah.
You're
and
right.
it was like ET, Skyraft, Beastmaster, like... and then a PL came in at the end. It was filth, that draft.
I really think that Tundra looks... Honestly, like every single one of their players... Actually, no, 33 still looks the same because he's always been that like pretty reliable guy, but like Skeeter for me is unbelievably improved. Every game I'm watching him, before I was like, man, I don't know why teams are actually picking up Skeeter so much. He's really struggling. He's very like straightforward with his playstyle, very one-dimensional. But lately, he's been super impressive for me.
Yeah.
He barely makes mistakes as these carries, and he goes for greedy routes, and it works most of the games too. Yeah, I'm really liking the way Tundra is looking, and let's see what Brame can do if they can sub him up. They should be able to get their Willow, or yeah, probably the Willow at least for the side of Brame if they want to go down that route. But Tundra, they're gonna get their AA.
Good old AA.
Yep, anti-carry.
This time they've already banned out the Ench, so you're not going to have the Ench +1 combo. This is that level up book top, aka
so.
Victor, standing ominously at the entrance to Brame's draft. That's kind of spooky.
Oh, he's cheering him on though.
Go.
All right.
Bye now.
Oh, you guys starting? All right, you got this. Don't worry. All right, well.
Break on 3.
That's cool though. I like seeing teams support each other.
That's cute. All right. Anyways, yeah, Brame. You got to pick 2 heroes that lane into AA. AA is a very good hero to play off of range in laning phase. So I love seeing Miranas, Linas.
Is Willow no longer an option now?
It still can be. I think the thing we're questioning is, do we take the Tiny? Right?
Yeah.
Like, does Wish want to play the same hero as he played last time, or do we want to give up the combo for them if they do want to draft it, or do you want to go for the Wraith King or the Sven so you deny the lane combo? I think there's a couple things that are going into debate there for them, because they could just go for Wraith King Willow, and then it gives away the Tiny, but then they have good ways to counteract it in a way. So I feel like Brame has a couple different approaches that they can do based on their previous style of drafting.
Oh, they go for the Lina.
Okay.
There we go. They go for more of a laning matchup. Of course, the second pick as well, so we get to use that great buzzword, flexibility.
Oh, that is different. So they're going to just counteract the Oracle, or the AA with an Oracle.
Both in the game and then potentially the lane as well.
And maybe that's also one to cover versus Tiny. It can be hard to not use your ult every time on it, but you can click Portrait. I think that's something that people always forget.
Portrait is broken.
Clicking is broken. When you can Fate's Edict a teammate that's tossed up in the air getting comboed, and you nullify all the damage from the magical, it's beautiful. And it's very important because it's tough to target heroes that are tossed.
And to be very clear,
it's impossible.
It's impossible
to target.
When we say portrait, we mean on the top bar, the hero portraits, the pictures, you can click on that for certain spells to actually cast them, if they're, of course, in range.
I think it works with Grave as well, right?
Yeah, it works with all spells and all abilities, as far as I know. Well,
pretty cool.
All defensive.
Can you
can't use it aggressive.
People?
Yes, you can force staff people. Very useful when you're playing with like illusion teammates who have everything stacked up. You can solo crest, force, etc. to guard them.
Also, what you can do is in Dota you can set binds to heroes based on the color that they're in the lobby.
Yes.
So you can just double click that bind and then click the actual portrait on their like health bar.
How much do people actually use that?
I mean, it's very underrated.
It's very underutilized. I've never actually heard of people using it much.
In pubs, not so much, but in pro games, when everyone always has the same slot, it can get pretty good. They go for the puck. Yeah.
Okay, so they go for puck and they instantly ban Wish TA. Very appropriate, as we've seen him dominate games by himself. On the other side, we're seeing the Veno taken out, so that pesky AA Veno combo.
If I was Tundra, though, I'd be going TA, DK, DP as your bans. If you're going for puck mid, the way that Brame plays around, just pressure. And also you have to think about Brame is a lower division team which was so happy to go for the big counter to DP.
Yes.
Puck, sorry.
Yeah. I think that can be really nice. You do have the AA versus the DP, but there's an Oracle, so it can go both ways. So if you want to cover yourself straight up there,
okay,
that's fine. But I think with like Lina, I feel like these squishier heroes look a little awkward if they do put in the mid lane. So I think DK actually looks pretty good if they do want to go for it, but it's also into AA, so it's scary.
This is the fastest second ban phase that we've had the entire season, I want to say.
They just want to play Dota,
Picking up the pace. So they take, there's a bit of a deny pick and also just works well with their draft also, the Sven. Now you have a setup for the Lina in the lane.
Do you want to have a pos 4 that also has a little bit of catcher? So like the Clockwork or another one of the meaty guys? Or are you playing more on, do you think, ranged?
There's a lot of those three bans are snaking bans, by the way.
Yeah,
the Veno, the Enigma, and the Tiebreaker, they actually just banned out snaking.
My brain was like, there's off lanes, but no,
right, no, those are snakings.
True,
yeah. I would like some reach. I definitely would. We've seen Snake play we've seen him play the Clockwork once. I don't know if he plays the Earth Spirit.
Let me check. He has played Clockwork versus Secret.
There you go.
Let's see what's still in the pool. He's played Wyvern. Spirit Breaker, his very first game. Lion, of course.
Spirit Breaker.
SB doesn't look terrible, honestly. It looks pretty good versus Lina and the Oracle if he does go that route.
The main thing about Spirit Breaker,
He played Clock twice.
whatever lane you play in,
Three times. Lost all three.
Okay, so maybe he won't. It fits what they want, though. A hero to get information in the back line, good versus BKB that will eventually come out from the Sven too, and it gives you a good initiation for your AA and your puck.
It's a pretty difficult pick from Tundra, because if they pick up their 4, they just go for Timbersaw.
Oh, look at that! Was an instant pick. Wow. The buff ups. So since they did ban out the Tiny, the Ember, and the TA, the Omni plus Sven combo is going to be there. Not as effective versus magic damage, which it's all magic damage on Tundra so far, but it's all about just buffing up Sven to his maximum capability.
So far it has been Spartan that has played Omni for his team.
Okay.
That would mean that Oracle will be a 4?
No, it's got to be Skylark on the Omni.
It's pos 5 Oracle with Lina being mid or 4, Omni is off lane.
Yes.
Some Solar Crest style Omni Knight enabling the Sven.
This looks like a godly Timber game, man.
And then they go Void. Oh, yeah.
This is such a nice Timber game. You're playing versus the 2 meat shields. They have some burst damage, but once he gets like 1-2 items, the Timber looks very unkillable. And he can itemize also versus Sven. You can go Halberd.
I want this to be a mid laner though from Brame, I think. You either go, because then you have some laning matchups into Puck. You can blow up the Void, and you have damage when they connect. Right now, if Sven goes into the fight, there's not really that kind of +1. It's Sven v the world. Okay. That is a little bit of a concern.
Yeah, but you know what? I'd like that too, because I want the Lina to get levels. I don't want some under-leveled Lina like we saw last time where you can't actually threaten Timbersaw. You can kill him once or twice maybe inside the laning phase, but then afterwards he's too tanky for you to do anything because you get outscaled.
I guess the only flip side to that is Lina is such a strong laner that it unlocks Omni's game. And if you don't put the Lina with the Omni, then potentially you're sacking that lane and it can be really disruptive. So a lot of questions for Brame that they have to answer. For Tundra, they need a pos 4 ranged hero that can be active on the map and leave Timber quite quickly, but then just be a kill threat across the game.
Void AA. It's a staple. Whoever gets chronoed is very likely dead. Now they have 2 different forms of initiation to get in the backline, and Guardian Angel's worthless this game. A lot of times you see Omni, sure, he's mostly played around Heavenly Grace, but Guardian Angel also usually has some effectiveness. In this game, there's like 0, it's all magical. Everyone on the side of Tundra is doing magic. Even Void does quite a lot of magical early on. So,
a little bit of PTSD from Tundra there. Huskar was what Brame had when they beat Tundra for the first time around.
SD had to be banned here. Yeah.
So the other thing with Void 2 versus Omni Knight, very annoying. He's heavenly gracing the Sven the whole game. Time dilation. You get the time dilation onto the Omni Knight. As soon as that first heavenly grace is over, he's not going to be able to reapply it. So it can be really disruptive versus these heroes that are very cooldown reliant. Especially when it's all about the Sven.
You have the Oracle to somewhat help that, but it's all about positioning a clean fight construct in your vision, not being overwhelmed.
And right now, you don't have the vision game on Brame. Tundra has the vision and the initiation game for them.
And then they go for the clock.
Okay, so they're still going to go for that, and I mean, I really like that Tundra draft again.
Okay, but what is the big winning mid hero now? Because I kind of now feel like you should put the Lina into 4 after thinking about it a bit more.
And then Omni 3.
Yep.
Omni 3.
Picking up Wish's hero for mid lane last. If there wasn't a Timber in the game, I'd be maybe calling Kunkka into A as well. Doesn't feel great.
They've got a lot of time to think about this still. The Death Prophet is, of course, still in the pool.
I'd still like DP to some degree, but again, the AA, you can't really go Tinker because of Puck Void Clock. Yeah, a lot of his heroes are somewhat counted here.
I feel like.
Oh, how about the Shadow Fiend?
Oh, I don't like that hero. Versus Clockwork.
I was just doing it for Kyle.
Okay,
He's not here anymore. I just had to say the one sentence.
Unplayable hero versus Clockwork, in my opinion. Actually, he's just all the Clockwork's job is hook Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, it's actually kind of, all of Wish's heroes are somewhat counted. I say that.
Agree.
I think any mid laner right now, if they're playing into a Timber Puck AA,
it's hard.
It's, very hard. This is the anti-mid lane draft from Tundra.
What's it gonna be? Yeah, I'm
can't really
sure.
go.
If you want, I can go for a quick rundown of what they've played before, mid.
Well, yes or no, go. Speed.
All right, Pugna, Ember,
No,
Beastmaster, Death Prophet, Pugna, DK, Razor.
Maybe they do just go for the DK.
Oh, they went for the Tinker the other day, but I didn't like that. That's all what's still in the pool.
Man, they're taking some time too.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe they do just be like, all right, well, Lina might be the best option for mid. Let's pick a different 4.
Yeah, they have to have confidence right now. They just go for the DK.
Okay, that's what I feel like it had to be, because they have like very weird ways to actually pressure objectives too, and now this at least gives them a way to actually take some towers. So I think that was probably the best of the last things left.
It's just, I think everyone in chat right now is probably saying 3 strength hero core lul.
Yes.
And that's unfortunately going to be the end of my analysis where, I guess I got to do an extra minute or 2. But yeah, you got this 33 on the Timbersaw playing into what is going to be a very easy game for him to apply just constant pressure. And I'm a little bit worried for Brame. They really need to have that kind of OG flair from OG's first game, where they're kind of outplaying, prolonging fights, utilizing kind of just the synergy of the team to really get themselves into this game, because Tundra just have kite for days.
Yeah, we know that they can do that kind of style.
They can. Like, again, this is probably after draft, I'm giving it maybe like a 60-40 towards Tundra, just because I have the 40 swinging more towards the belief that Brame has that aggressive style to break down a map and to punish the kind of the greed of what Void needs, and maybe like Timber's lacking team fight and stuff. But yeah, I'm leaning Tundra again. I just think that this draft is just so clean, and they played so well in their previous game.
They did, actually. I would say if I were to predict the way that Tundra played and the way that Brame played, gave me a little bit more confidence for Tundra, but we're going to see it played out. Of course, if Tundra win, our tiebreakers are going to come to an end, and it will be Brame that will be relegated down to the lower division. And if Brame win, we're going to go again with 3 games of the round robin best of 3 tiebreaker. So let's see which one's going to be together with OD Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Shiv. Yes, indeed. Let's find out. But this best of 1, Tundra versus Brame, Fogged. And so as we're hearing from you guys, what you do like what Tundra's got. Yeah. They've got this Void. They've got obviously some great follow-up. But the thing is, right, they've got a lot of defensive stuff coming out from Brame, right? These Chronos aren't going to be too easy against things like GA and False Promise. There's definitely ways to mess with the Void.
Oh, I don't see GA doing anything this game, though. It's all magic damage to follow up.
Sure, everything else is just going to blow him up.
Yeah. You know, a lot of the times we see the Omni in particular, he's picked like 90% of the time versus like Magnus, or he's just paired with that Sven. But I can see why they want to go for that amplifying, but there's just so much damage that I feel like Tundra has to just go right through it. And even time dilation is very frustrating for an Omni Knight to play against, because you're never heavily gracing yourself. You're always heavily gracing the Sven. You have to rely on your Oracle to dispel it off of you so you can keep applying it. I think the good thing that they do have going for them is the DK, the pressure that he's going to be able to apply on buildings, because it is a bit of greed that Tundra does have on the draft with the Void. But yeah, I really do like the way that Tundra set themselves up this time around.
All right, fair enough. I mean, I got to be honest. I'm looking at this game, and for me, I feel like this is not a good Void game.
Okay.
I would not want to play. So we'll see. Because I'm looking at this, I just feel there's too many saves, and the heroes are too tanky on Brame. I don't think the Chrono. It's going to be easy to do things with the Chrono. So it'll be interesting to see which way it does play out. But I don't think it's an easy game for Skeeter. Well, we'll see.
Okay. He's got the follow-up, though, right? Like, the AEA Void combo is what makes the difference most of the time,
sure.
but...
We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, it'll be interesting, because I do feel differently. I do feel that I like Brame. I like Brame out. I think they're tanky. I think it's a hard game for the Void, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It says, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The best of 1 kicking off. Brame versus Tundra. Let's see who can do it.
Let's see what these lanes are going to be able to do as well. As we see bottom, 33's already got the chain skilled up. Fada already catching a stun. Very deep forward himself.
Damage.
Yeah, very nice damage. Forced to salve right away.
Looking at some of these other lanes. I mean, is there going to be any issue? I mean, mid lane, DK is going to do pretty well against the puck, right? Like, you can out CS the puck.
Yeah, definitely. That damage reduction is really frustrating, but Puck always has the orb to be able to CS with too. But yeah, Wish should have a good time there. And bottom, they're already putting a lot of pressure onto 33. He's dead.
Got him. That's first blood for Brame.
Very nice. He started low, because that early level 1 that they went onto him, he actually was half HP when he gets to the lane. So they just immediately start spamming spells onto him. Nicely done from Brame. Snaking, he's pulling waves. So he doesn't actually miss out on much experience from that Timber Saw, but at the same time too, we see Focus doing the exact same thing, and Focus is going to deny a whole wave. That Sven does have, what, 4 melee creeps plus a range creep to kill all of his creeps.
What can I do about snaking? Trying to come across, but...
He's trying to drag it. Yeah, he's trying to drag these melee creeps onto his range creep, and now they're going to walk over and contest it. Up top. Ooh, the heal on the creep by Skylark. And 33 does hit level 2 now anyway. But does give the first blood, so, and it was, who actually got the kill? So it was Focus who got that first blood.
Yeah, Focus got it, yes.
Very important. Gets the stick right away in the lane, or the full wand, that is.
Yeah, looks like he's got queued up as well, the Mask of Madness, so we're going to see some Mask of Madness echo probably build up here from Focus, so a little bit different from the Sven we saw earlier today, who just went straight for the echo.
And we see Snaking being his usual obnoxious self as the 4 position. One of the few 4s, I feel like, that actually still just checks every rune. He checks the 2-minute, the 4-minute, the 6-minute. He's always checking it out. So we'll get the bottle fill for 9 and deny the bottle fill for Wish. And Sven is getting this full free farm because they've had to go for the Timber Chain level 1. They can't actually apply the pressure, and the damage that comes out between the two is very high, the Oracle and the Sven, especially when they hit 3. I see Focus is saving skill points too, just waiting to see which ones he does need. If he starts to get pressured in lane, he can skill himself a couple more points in stun. Snaking, just blocking camps and just unable to really pressure the lane much at all. And Void is suffering here in the lane, up top.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just any of those times that you're having to farm against the laner, it's not going to be a huge amount of fun. They're going to try and do something about Shamana, though. So bringing Snaking in as well. They can close in onto Shamana, they can't.
Nope.
So he's going to happily walk that off, and a fair bit of time spent there. So the 3 of Tundra try and push Shamana all the way back.
And bottom, we see 33 gets range drop. Should be just fine down here by himself. He's going to be missing out on some farm, but will be able to get that solo experience, and he knows that he can survive. So Focus, he just puts 2 points in Greater Cleave. Snaking, really trying to get on top of one of these 2 heroes. But won't quite be able to. As we see mid, actually the puck is coming out ahead. That is because he got the rune. Of course, he got that one first rune checked, and Wish wasn't able to fill up. And look at Snaking again. As we said, very pesky, always checking out the 4-minute runes, even taking away the bounty rune from the opposing side. So they actually have to double check bottom. Spartan with Wish, but 9 gets the rune, and Snaking takes the top one. Oh, actually he doesn't, he leaves it. So 9 will be able to get both runes.
Oh, very nicely done, yeah. It's going to continue to give 9 this edge in the mid lane.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, Snaking one of the few 4s that just always is being that pesky nuisance. And Skylark might be in a little bit of a troublesome position. He's got boots, so he's juking away from Snaking.
Oh, that's pretty speedy.
Yeah, he's fast. He's going to get away.
He's going to be fine. Yeah,
but he's pushed out a lane, which means Void's going to be able to free farm the lane now. And he has to go all the way back. And ooh, Snaking almost finds him.
That was close. Very, very close. But he's away. He's away.
Bottom 33, have you seen? He's completely recovered. 2 points in Timber Chain, 2 points in the reactive. Can't actually put pressure into him. Focus has to go for the Morbid Mask, so he actually can stay inside the lane now at this point. This does start to get difficult. When 33 hits 6, they're going to be pushed out of lane. Snaking. Trying to stop this creep pull over here. They run together. Ooh, they put the nuisance here,
just running around there, Snaking.
Yeah, and he puts the ward, because you know that eventually this is going to be the area that the Sven's going to be, so they're already starting to get that early information. Even putting a deep ward behind the mid tower, too. As he pushes the DK out of lane because of that rune securing, as we mentioned previously.
Yeah, they really have just had that better control around this mid lane, which No, it's smart to do as well. If you want to invest in Nine's early game on the puck, we saw what he was able to do last game on the puck. Yeah, some fantastic plays.
Snaking. Does have to be a little bit careful. And he's fixed that top lane. Where we saw the Void suffering on the first few levels, he's completely recovered. And although he's sacrificed his game, that's just fine as a clockwork. He's still got his Tranquil Boots up, so he can continue to apply pressure. They start seeing the stacks coming out. Stominen, he's going to start stacking up Ancients, but Fada, since as we mentioned that ward from earlier, is watching it out. And again, look at them checking the runes together, but Wish, he does get fortunate this time around. Will be able to get himself an illusion.
And Nine doing a good job, though, trying to hold the wave back, so Wish doesn't really get too much of an opportunity to hit the tower. And they know he wants to. I mean, you've got the two supports here as well, just making sure that, yeah, this first Elder Dragon form isn't going to do anything to the tier 1 mid.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of, like, people just getting used to that kind of thing. It's like Puck doesn't want to fully rotate out of the lane, and then you just call for the two supports when the DK form is used to just stop that push. Fada even just giving him a love tap there with that chilling touch, and that's the full DK form, and he didn't get a single hit on the tower.
No, that they held it perfectly. Yeah.
And very good aggressive, very good wards coverage to watch everywhere that the Sven is going, right? We have one ward in the Radiant jungle, and then one ward behind mid tower and one around the Ancients. So they'll be able to watch everywhere that focus is going, because as we said, he gets bullied out of lane from 33 when he's 6, and 33 is about to actually at level 7 on top 2.
All wands will break.
For Brame as well, it is always going to be hard to make a move onto Skeeter, I guess.
Yeah.
Because this DK is not going to really look to rotate. So when it comes to actually getting the catch onto the Void, it's going to be difficult. So Skeeter should have a pretty free game when it comes to farming. I mean, obviously for Brame, there is more potential for Tundra to make moves on their 9 with the Dream Coil. They've got to be prepared for those early movements from this puck.
Yeah, and they can't. 9. If you get too aggressive on the side of Brame 2, you just can't counter-initiate it on, right? There's a Chrono and a Coil. These two abilities are just fantastic to counter-initiate on. And yeah, it is tough for them to punish and slow down the Void. While we do see like the Sven, they've got coverage. They've got ward coverage to at least watch where he is farming. As Stominen continued to stack, Snaking watching it. Potentially actually going for him here too. The Ancients are actually hitting Stominen. Did enough damage.
He's got Skylark. Yeah, Skylark able to come in and bail him out.
But he stops at one of the stacks. Now Wish, while he sees the support movement, he does get at least a little bit of a tap onto the tower. Skeeter, lingering around top. Thinking about going for Skylark there, but unable to just yet.
I mean, with the Chrono and the Cold Feet, they probably could just drop it and kill him. Now let's see. But just playing on sort of the safe side of things. I guess still at 500 HP. They probably need a few. They need to get a little bit lucky on the bashes.
They have 9 rotating over. He has an Arcane Rune.
Yeah, okay. Then they definitely can go. 9's going to look for the Dream Coil setup here behind the tower. He might be able to get the 2 of them. No, he's going to hold on for it now. Then they're able to split. And 9 doesn't want to drop it just for the one of them. As a nice split there from Brame. Make sure that 9 doesn't have the opportunity to set up on both of them.
They're denying the triangle, though. They're denying the extra stacks. Might even be able to take some away, especially that hard camp. As the rune spawns, Snaking actually just takes the bounty himself. How many bounties do we have, actually, for Tundra? Because I feel like Snake's taken away most of them in that triangle here. So yeah, 5 runes, and they have the 1 available. So yeah, they have 6 to the 4 at the moment. Ooh, that was a weird TP. Stominen just TP'd to his tier 2 from his high ground from his Ancient.
Wait, what?
Yeah, a little bit of a slip up there from the Lina. Focus is the highest level and the highest farm in the game, though. So he's getting away with it.
Yeah, 100 CS already here, 9.5 minutes in.
Secondary ward placed behind tower. This sentry will take out the 1 ward, but the other ward is out of range of it. So they will still be able to watch the rotations that come in. Yeah, they're pinging it out right away. Snaking definitely saying how important that ward is. Level's a bit limited on the supports on the side of Tundra from the way that they did do like a tri-lane. Snaking only 3. We see Fata about to hit 5, but on the other side here, Oracle halfway to 6, Lina level 4. So a little bit ahead on the side of Brame.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
At least in experience.
We have Wish going straight for the blink, of course, making sure that they have that ability to set up. Which they do need pretty greatly here as Focus will start clearing the stacks. well on his way to very good timing on the Mask of Madness Echo Saber this game.
He's gonna have both. And with that, of course, that Heavenly Grace to buff him up too, he's gonna be very potent. Bottom tower gets taken out, 33, just continuing to play his own game. Ooh, he gets the tree. I haven't seen a Timber with the tree in a while, actually. The combos that you can do with the Timber tree and that Ironwood tree is pretty nice. Top. Focus is waiting in the wings. He's trying to get an opportunity, but
it's hard to make this move as Brain. I mean, as you say, if you don't jump and get the kill straight away, TPs are going to be coming in, and Tundra's going to be turning things around here. I say that though, mid lane Dream Coil is going to be dropped. I want to just go for Shamanan as he steps up. Quick kill onto the Lina. There's the space to keep pushing in onto the tier 1.
They're the ones taking the towers with a Void versus a DK lineup. That is concerning for Brame. They're not able to actually pressure these towers whatsoever, because if Focus tries to top, he'll just get Chrono'd AA blasted and he's dead, especially now that they saw Skylark TP mid.
Tundra just playing this early game very, very smart again. Not a lot of kills, 1-1 here, 11 minutes in. Not a lot of action. But when, you know, Tundra's got that Void, I think that they're not going to be too bothered about that.
Nope.
They're happy with this sort of pace. The Skeeter's not getting pressured. I mean, sure that the Sven is getting really, really farmed as well. You know, Focus having a great time. I mean, he's 3 levels ahead as well. You know, level 11 on this Sven already. He's going to hit a very good timing. It's just a question of what Brame's going to be able to do with that.
Exactly, yeah. It's going to be up to Wish, I feel like, with the Blink to start setting the tempo for them to actually start forcing these objectives. But they got to be careful. So much counter-initiation, as we've said on Tundra, and I just keep seeing 9 getting all the power runes. I think he's gotten every single one, right? Him and Snaking have secured all of them except for that one illusion rune that we picked up from the DK early. Still no Blink,
top lane.
But they're smoked up here.
They've just hit 6 on Fada as well, so they have the Ice Blast for this fight. Those creeps that were coming in under the tower. So they've got quite the team fight here, Tundra, so this is not an easy push for Brame.
They're smoked all behind here, too. Both of the buffs. 33. It's going to get gone
They're
on.
going to try and go for 33. There's the jump. Look at the Chronos.
He gets 4 of them.
Oh, it's a beautiful Chrono from Skeeter. They blow up the Oracle. Dream Coil down onto the 2, and then Focus, he's got to try and get into the trees, but 33 chases him down. They'll move over towards Dominant. He's spawned it. They're going to be able to get them all. A cracking Chrono there from Skeeter. Jumps in. Catches the 4 of them. I swear he made the Chrono bigger than it should have been. It looked like it was huge. He got them all.
We saw this the other day, right? From Skeeter when he was playing versus Team Nigma. Dude, this was the most perfect. Look at this.
Look at that.
And they just immediately blow up the Oracle. They know their target priorities. While 33, he addresses the Sven, and Wish just has to watch, gets coiled, and then they're just all dead. Oh, no.
An excellent Chrono. You know, you don't normally see those sort of Chronos coming out this early in the game as well. And in a game where not a lot's happening, 13 minutes in. And yeah, you can see on the faces there. I mean, what can you do when you get hit by a Chrono that good? You know the fight's coming to a pretty abrupt end as yeah, Tundra getting the complete cleanup off the back of that.
It's a devastating hit, really. The DK shows up pre-Blink Dagger, too. Wish was like 100 or 200 gold away from Blink, dies. Now he's got to go back and finish up the Blink, and they're just under so much pressure here. 3K gold lead. Not able to touch towers with the DK. Snaking's in. It's another one.
Skylark's out. Oh, it's speeding up. It's speeding up now. You know, what sort of 1-1, 11 minutes in now. Boom, 2 minutes later, we're 7-1, 4K lead. Tundra on the verge of taking another tower here away from Brame. It is speeding up very, very fast here. Brame's got to try and slow it down.
And it's like, do they want to slow it down, though, is the scary thing, because you're playing into this Void AA lineup, and your Sven, he's going to have trouble. So with Wish, he's got to try to catch something big. He has to catch 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to get a stun,
do something here.
And they got to blow him up with the Lina before the fight kind of does start. As the Tundra's just getting into the Ancient side. They're denying the Sven this area. Excellent planning from here. Spartan trying to walk up. Immediately has to just Fate's Edict and heal himself before they even cast the spell. Wish.
I'm in Brame.
He gets the connection.
They've got the stun control onto 9. They'll be able to blow up the puck.
Ancients are cleared away, but they do get that big grab at the very least. Can they get anything else out of it, though? Focus, he popped the God Strength, they popped the DK form. Have to try to hit a tower. They have 30 seconds until the puck's back alive. I feel like you have to force the issue top. But you can get turned on. I think the Chrono is about to be back up, 15 seconds.
It is.
So it's a really scary push, but they have to do it.
You see, Skeeter's going to TP over mid, and they'll smoke from the mid here to try and get that wraparound behind this inevitable push that Brame's coming in with top.
They scan. They know this is coming on the side of Brame, yeah. They will be able to protect the Sven. So a good hit. Good hit back.
And they're going to lose someone here, probably. We'll see what Skeeter finds for the Chrono.
His smoke broke. Snaking.
They get the hook shot. Just a sort of point-blank range here onto Skylark. Snaking's able to just step up and set up onto the Omni Knight. As 33, he's got it. TP put to a stop here. Spartan is also going to get caught out as 33 takes out another. Tundra continuing to roll in the kills here.
At least they don't lose the Sven. That's the most important. It's all about the Sven at this point in the game. It literally is everything, all the weight on the shoulders of Focus. So at least he's able to survive and get close to his BKB to protect himself. But now, Wish.
9, he's got the setup. Skeeter's in as well. They've got the damage. Tundra looking very, very good here. I mean, they looked at in that second half of the game against OG, and they're just continuing to keep at that level here. Tundra absolutely just looking to be one of the teams that's just impressed and improved the most over this season. You know, down in these all-important tiebreakers, they're just not messing around. Both of these games we're seeing just top stuff here from Tundra. Yeah,
it really is just, it's smart understanding of what their lineup needs to do, right? Even just switching it up to do like the tri-lane top, they sacrificed the support game a little bit early, but they know why. Like, look at 33. His highest farmed hero on their team, and he was left alone bottom. He's able to do so much work and just so many different ways to reach into backline. Stomanen, they're not going to use it. He doesn't actually have the mana. Well, he had the wand charges, but probably didn't want to use it anyway.
Nah, it's like Selena.
Yeah.
The temptation would have been there, but honestly, when they're crushing this hard, it's not like they need to sort of hold on to these little kills. They, you know, Skeeter can wait for the big stuff.
Chrono is for the Sven.
Yeah.
Focus. We'll TP down bottom. The ward is already set up, though, so Tundra...
I mean, they know Void's playing on this half of the map. Then maybe they can try and find the Void.
They got to smoke, though. Okay, so they will. So this it should be a little unexpected here. Maybe they can actually catch Skeeter. They know that that ward is there, too. They're pinging it. All 5 heroes. The Lina kind of baiting them down there, showing at least one hero. Maybe Skeeter will feel safe because of that.
Let's see, Skeeter. Is he going to jump in for the wave? Or is he tempted? Skeeter. Oh, he might be. He's got an ice blast back him. He's going to jump in. Oh, but they're ready for him. Straight away, as soon as he's in, they strike from the trees, and Skeeter will fall for the trap.
Beautiful, beautiful setup there from Brim. Now they can go for a tower themselves. They read the map so cleanly there. Oops. Didn't mean to ping. You guys saw that? I think I only saw it, so whoopsie. And yeah, they get the tower. Snaking his invis, watching out here. All 5 heroes of Brame in the area, looking to take away the Ancients, get a bounty run too. But 9, he's keeping over. 10 seconds for Faceless Void too.
Yeah, I mean, Void's up again soon, so they've got to be a little careful with this timing. Yeah, Brame, they do respect it. They're going to make sure they're not still on this half of the map while Skeeter's respawning.
That was clean, though. Clean execution. But with this, now they know that DK form was down. God's strength down too. They're just going to go into the Broche, and they have all their ults available, so it does not feel like Brame can contest this whatsoever.
They got to let this go.
Yep. Stacking up the Ancients at the very least. In the meantime, we see Oracle get a stack. They know they can't contest it.
No.
So just got to maximize. Get a stack out, let the Sven farm the stack too. Fada.
There we have it.
He's walking up. 9, scouting as well. They're going to block the Ancient. Actually, just putting Sentry right outside of it, maybe checking for vision.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Keeping that 4K lead here, Tundra. Sven still absolutely massive, as we've said. Focus needs to play the perfect game.
They get the hook shot coming in.
The A-Blast misses.
Be able to trap him. Gonna put the BKB, try and 5 back. Skeeter's coming in, he's gonna drop the Chrono. We'll look to lock down Focus. Skylark is there at the side, though. We'll be able to offer protection here with the GA. BKB comes to an end, though.
9.
Focus turns towards 9. 9 tries to jump out with the sun, and the Laguna's in. They've brought down 9. Focus gets around, and another Light Strike Ray coming out. They're keeping Focus alive here, but now the bash is coming from Skeeter. Focus will finally fall, and Tundra will now start to run down the rest of them. 33 looking to push back Wish. The man holds him back with the Light Strike Array. Skylark able to save himself. So they managed to get the majority of them out there. Tundra, they may lose 9, but they do get that big kill. They are able to take down Focus.
And he did use God's Strength also right before he did die, so won't have that when he does come back up. And it looked a little scary for a second, the Chrono, not having the most damage since the A Blast whiffed over it, didn't actually connect on top of that Sven, but overall, Tundra still comes out ahead because that's the only hero they need to kill. It's only the Sven. That's the only hero they really need to worry about at all, is snaking. Wish trying to punch back here. He's kind of tanky, though.
There's an Ice Blast coming in as well, so yeah, they're not going to push it to this 9. No Dream Coil for 20 seconds still.
Spartan's there as well.
And it's just very, very hard, even with that, you know, getting 9 in that sort of situations for Brain to really do too much, especially when their Sven's dead. They've got to try and take these trades, but without Focus dying, so that he can continue to hit the creeps. I mean, he's still there at the top, but every single fight like that, the gap does shrink.
And there's just, like we said, there's just so much overwhelming damage that's coming out. Like even 33 has Kaya Sange now on top too, so his damage is just amplified that much more. So is his tank ability. He's really been the problem. He's 3-1 and 4. He dies that one time in the laning phase, but besides that, his damage has been ridiculous in the fights. This Timbersaw is just shredding them, shredding the Sven in particular. As soon as that BKB's gone, he just erases him.
Now we've seen this so many times from 33.
Yeah.
He always has loved the old Timber, and looking as good as ever here. Bringing it out multiple times here with Tundra. Bottom lane, quick burst onto Fada, shows himself in the lane.
Nice move.
Able to delete the AA.
Nine's got a DD though. He'll strike back. Could we get some damage numbers
here with this?
when you got a chance, by the way, Mr. Robs? So we'd like to see. Yeah, Puck's still doing the most, but we see that Timber number 2.
Oh, on top spawn. He's not getting out of this. Another catch, another kill here for Tundra. 14-5, now 7k lead. And they're chasing. They've got a hook shot available. See if Snaking's able to find an angle.
How long on Chrono? Chrono back up in 3 as well. Yeah, Focus has to get the hell out of there.
They gotta run. They gotta run. Get himself off to the other side of the map. Bottom lane 9. Got the coil onto Wish.
They have vision of him still? Oh, okay. He'll be able to blink away. They still have that ward on the high ground, but... 9 just being annoying. Has died twice, but doesn't matter for him as he knows he has his other 2 cores scaling so heavily. And Focus, he's just going for the big damage next. He's going for that Daedalus right away. With the Imp Claw too, he does hit hard. Age is still 1 minute and 10 seconds on Skeeter.
Yeah, they'll want to do something with this. I mean, Skeeter,
he can just boss him out of the Ancients.
Back up if he wants to try and go for something here.
It's a bit deep. But he can just push the Sven out of the Ancient area, which is denying a lot of farm from Focus. Like, they're trapped in their base right now for the last, like, minute or so. So 8k lead for Tundra with the way that they're playing the map. And 33 takes a tower also during it. He's already got the shard queued up. We saw how much damage he was able to do last time with it. With all the spell amp this time, too, it's going to be even more potent. And on to the next tier, too. Can't contest it either on the side of Brame. Wish has BKB, so he's a little bit safer inside of the fights, but... we see this Timber doing the most building damage.
I mean, for Brame, is it still just a case of just having to avoid the fights? I mean, or like how do you play from behind in this sort of game?
It's just not easy. Like they don't really have great targets to go for. They have to try to take out. I mean, honestly, they have to kill Skeeter before he gets the Chrono off in some situations at this point, because anyone else they kill, it doesn't feel value. They have to delete the Void, the Chrono concept. But he's been in such good positioning so far, Skeeter. Just that one time that they were able to get him bottom. It just does get reclaimed, but it's given him time to farm a BKB. So now if he sees these stuns coming, he'll just be able to BKB and turn it, and then the fight is just over. As we see 33, he has it also level 18, so level 3 Chakram online. Hasn't quite bought the shard out yet, but very likely to do so. Yeah, and it does come out right now. It's so much overwhelming damage. When those BKBs are down from Focus and from Wish, they're just going to disappear so quickly, this Timber.
Another smoke here from Brame.
They're starting to fall
want to try
far.
and take the fight outside of the base. Try and take it in a situation where Tundra's not ready.
Yeah, they're falling too far behind. Because it's just, the gold lead is just increasing and increasing and increasing. Tundra has too much map control. So let's see what they find here. Ooh, Spartan. He reveals. Tundra's ready for this move. 9 also going the very safe route, knowing that the only way he dies if he gets chain stunned, just gets a BKB. So yeah, continuing to look. I don't know how they initiate the fights on Brame. It looks just so hard for them.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, as soon as they sort of head out the base, they just get back to the base. It's
and now they're going to smoke
very
out.
Difficult.
BKB delivered for the Void. They can smoke and look for the fight themselves.
Yeah. So Skeeter hitting an incredible chrono earlier. Let's see if he can do it again.
And as we said, it's a full 4 Protect 1, really, at this point. Look at the itemization also from Skylar. Aether Lens, Glimmer Cape, and a Whip. So he's just sitting back, trying to get the distance. I like the Aether Lens pickup because he needs to just be able to somehow position himself out of chrono. I think even a Blink next is probably going to be something along the build because his whole job is just get the Heavenly Grace and GA onto that Sven, which is very difficult versus all these AoE teamfight abilities. And Tundra, yeah, swoop over, control the map again. And Brame just has to continue hugging each other. So
I mean, they keep trying to set up to just, try and catch some sort of mistake from Tundra, but Tundra's just not. They're not making it. Ever since we had that one move from Skeeter getting caught out down bottom, they've been very careful, Tundra, not to leave themselves open to be caught by these traps that Brame's trying to set.
Yeah, it's such safe play. Roche may respawn in about 35 seconds too, so continue to play in this area, get the ward vision around here, and deny any type of ward vision from Brame. Brame now can't actually go up here and get any information. They've got wards in their jungle, but this is not the wards that you want to have when Roche is the next biggest objective in the game. At least it's some vision, but it's a difficult one.
Hello?
Hello?
What we got going on here? All right, Brame, we'll have a mild pause as Skylark's had to DC.
Recollect themselves a little bit too.
I mean, what's going to happen? I mean, Nine's not going to commit with this, is it? They're probably going to go their separate ways.
Yeah, they don't need to force a fight.
Tundra's going to wait on the high ground. Yeah, Tundra can chill.
Exactly. Tundra just needs to chill out, wait for next Roche, and then they're going to have a huge advantage after that one because they're going to be able to get an Aegis Cheese and a Shard, so Void can play around. He can play aggressively and defensively with both Time Walks ins and, of course, that reverse Time Walk out. And then it's more initiation range, right? As they already have tons of ways to start the fights on Tundra. Once they get that Shard also on the Void, then he can just jump all the way into the back line and get on top of Oracle and Sven, so Oracle and Omni Knight. So game just, it's looking more and more difficult, really, for Brame as it progresses.
There we go. Let's see what the players hit. Tundra. Holding the high ground. Brame know where they are.
Itemization on point so far for Tundra. I'd imagine 33 just goes for a Lotus Orb next. So, the way that you used to play versus the Sven, same similar kind of concept. Lotus Orb super effective. And Brame just has to hug focus, as we mentioned. Like if he dies, game's over pretty much. Wish trying to find his own farm, but he feels like he's really just a stun at this point in the game. 27-minute neutral items getting picked up here. That's Tundra just chilling. Yep, taking the Ancient Farm, waiting for Roche. 1 minute, 20 seconds on that one. And Snaking even just farming out the other side, picking up the bounty runes. So scouting out the area. They even have a ward to cover their Ancient side too, just in case, to watch if the Sven does try to farm over there. So Tundra's just controlling the entire map.
I mean, Brame's got nowhere to go.
They got nowhere. Wish is pushing up bottom, but he sees an illusion of a clock, and he's like, oh, okay, it's an illusion. Very difficult game. Tundra just playing it patient, playing it cool. Cloak of Flames picked up for 33, even tankier.
Very much one of these games where there's going to be one big hit from Tundra, and then the game's just going to be over.
Exactly. And 33, okay, he's not even going to go to Lotus. He's just tanking up. If he gets hard, he's unkillable. So.
All right, yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
he has a lot of options, to be fair. He can go Halberd, he can go Lotus. There's a lot of good items that he can go for in this game versus this Sven at this point. Halberd maybe not as effective because there's so much status, but because of that Heavenly Grace, but yeah. Ceremonial Robe, nice pick up there too for Tundra. Really strong one with that puck. They will see 33 a bit far up. They're gonna go for him. They actually get him.
I mean, this is what Brame's been waiting for.
One opportunity.
Sort of a minor slip up, and then boom, they're there on top of him.
And Roche is coming up in 5 seconds too.
Very nice move from Brame. I mean, if they've got to try and turn this into something else. They've managed to blow open an opportunity here.
BKB from 9.
I mean, damn it, one more hit and he's gone.
He might just die.
Hook shot. It's going to give him time for the Laguna. They've got him. And now Snaking. It's gone as what? The patience from Brame to wait for the smallest of mistakes here from Tundra. It's paid off. They've killed off 3. Brame holding on. I mean, they they found that opportunity, and they've worked wonders with it.
And now he's got a Daedalus too on top. Yeah. He's gonna have his level 20 talent 2 in a second, and he did pick up an Orb of Destruction, so high burst damage coming out from the Sven. And Tundra, they slipped up. Stuff. They're not gonna be able to get into the pit though. That's probably the best target, but they don't have God Strength, so it is still difficult for them to actually just straight commit. Because you can just still get Void Chronoed and then AA blasted. So it is gonna give time for Tundra to respawn. Good hit though. 33 has to give some respect to the damage that they have. He's gonna opt away from a heart. He's gonna go for Aeon Disc. God Strength, 20 seconds.
They can play around this, Brain. Maybe they can continue to swing this away. If they can sort of make one more hit like that, they will have the opportunity for Roche. Or at least to sort of force buybacks out of Tundra around that Roshan objective. So
33, he's got that Aeon Disc locked up, ready to go, in case he does get gone on. And they're actually looking for the fight themselves. Scan comes out. From both sides, actually.
Focus, he's just going in.
Checking.
What? He's just ready to go in on the front here, Focus. See what they can do. Skeeter in the pit. Skeeter's going to start to go to work on Roche.
Ooh, Mindbreaker.
I mean, they're slowly doing it here, Tundra.
It's getting whittled down.
You would imagine Brain wants to try and get in on this.
It's scary running in with their heroes, though, because then that's where it gives up the information of where the Oracle and Omni Knight's positioning is. So
I mean, what, you have to let it go? You think this is the move here for Brain? You don't take the risk of a fight around Roche?
Yeah, I think it's just scary. Like when you're playing on the defensive and you can actually position yourself easier on the Oracle, it's better. But when you actually have to go for an aggressive play, it reveals that positioning. It gives the opportunities for Clockwork to do his thing. So yeah, they're gonna get that Shard, that Aegis, and that Cheese out now too. Skylark, he reveals himself with the Purification.
Oh.
Okay, he'll be okay, but that was a very bold one by him.
Yeah, they can't afford for him to get caught outside of the base.
It
managed to put the Aeon Disc here, yeah, from 33, so that's down for 90 seconds.
They're gonna take that outpost away. Looks like Tundra. They just left this one for a while here. Snaking now looks like he's going to. Okay. 3 parts toward that Aghanim also on this Clockwork, a really big one, as we know. Sven BKB is the most important thing for him, and lots of different cool tools for them to kite him out, especially when they do have that out. They're gonna smoke though, trying to catch Tundra off guard, as Tundra is splitting up a lot. See what they can find. They also have the Orchid now as well on Wish.
They can find 9.
Yeah, they're playing so careful though. He just keeps he just waiting rifts the wave, snaking rockets the wave too, so they're just keeping these waves pushed out. Without showing much of anything besides Skeeter, who is the one with that Aegis.
We are, seeing excellent efforts though here from Brain, considering how much of a disadvantage they're having to play out right now.
Absolutely.
But it's yes, Tundra just still. I mean, they know Tundra, if they just play this sensible, the win will probably be theirs. They've just got to make sure that they don't get caught off by these little moves around the map by Brain.
Looking to pressure tier 2. They see the DK top Skeeter. A blast whiffs again.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Rocket to scout. Instant false promise. All right.
Tower has fallen.
Will be able to get themselves away. Will they lose anybody? Doesn't look like they will. Nice little escape.
Okay.
False promise, 70 seconds. Limited mana on Skeeter, but he's got clarities. He's bringing more as well. Always keeping himself on that mana pool. They've got a ward down here too. They're pinging it. They know it's warded. Stominen is pinging it out. Right now, Tundra does have the information of where the Sven is. They took the outpost back. Skeeter. He's walking right into them. He jumps onto the high ground. Okay. Oh, yeah,
I mean, he's got the shard.
Still a little scary though, but
he's able to easily decliff himself.
That chart is so frustrating. Takes the cooldown talent, of course, at level 22, so he can just play around it even nicer. He's got enough attack speed with the Mjolnir, with the Elven Tunic. Just playing it chill, just playing the farm game. Going for that big scaling. They know that it's just the Sven. It's just the Sven who's scaling. DK starting to fall heavily off as he has been for the last 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes. Omni Knight's not scaling either. So they're just playing it cool.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
33 has a full Shiva's just picked up, but they're going on him. Aeon Disc, it's there.
We're going to see the wraparound here. Skeeter. He's going to look towards Focus. Chrono's down. He's caught the two of them. Skylark's able to get the GA off, though. Stays out behind it all. Skeeter popping the BKB, trying to come in on, but Whisper his own BKB will get out. They'll look towards Spartan in the trees. They'll bring down the Oracle. Jump forward from Skeeter. He wants to keep trying to chase on. Dream calls down onto the two of them. Skeeter will go for the easier kill. Turns his attention over towards Skylark. They bring down the Omni Knight. Hook shot in. They're looking for this fan. Focus. He's able to get the BKB off. He does. Skeeter's got. They're going to be able to bring down the once. There's the Aegis gone on Skeeter. Focus is going to have to look to reset back in the fountain, though. And 3 are dead on Brain. So
and that's
Tundra,
the God Strength.
They can push on.
God Strength is down. Tundra not as reliant on Chronosphere to fight as much as Brame is as reliant on God Strength to do damage. 3 heroes dead as they try to make an aggressive move, get punished. Very likely to lose the Rex. Wish's Elder Dragon form also was used.
Yeah, and even with that up, they just can't get in whilst they've not got the full squad up.
No.
They need the backup of Skylark. Tundra. Take the top racks. E-Blade done on 9. They'll move over towards the mid. 9, he's going to be able to set up on a Focus. Focus has tried to get in on this. He needs help, and he needs it now.
He's coiled.
Dream Coil's down. Focus. He's gone. Does have buyback here. Skeeter in onto Spartan. Spartan, he does not have buyback. He's out for 45. Tundra pushing back the rest of the Brame straight towards the fountain. Buyback comes out. They get the stun. They got Skeeter. Big jump here onto the Void. They've taken out the Void. What more could they find here, Brame?
It's expensive. Focus having to buy back for that kill there. They have to get more.
For 33.
He's strong. He's got Aeon Disc still.
He's very tanky. The Light Strike Array. Have they really got the damage to bring down this Timber? They don't. They cannot commit for 33. Maybe for snaking, though. This Focus will turn. They'll be able to bring down the clock. So a second kill to be found here from Brain.
Not enough, though.
Expensive defense.
And he did lose the components, I believe. He lost his courier on the Sven.
He lost half the MKB, yeah.
Constantly getting annoyed here, too. 9. Being very frustrating with this E-Blade.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
And Brain will find an opportunity to push back here, but indeed in this very vulnerable position of...
Is that where it died?
Sven, it's game over.
That's where Foddick killed the courier. I was wondering what happened to it. Oh, that's comical.
All ones will break.
It's time to respawn now. Brain's got to be careful.
Yep, Chrono's back available too.
Yeah.
One more death on the Sven, and that'll be it for Brame. Have to be so careful to defend Focus. And his BK beats down to 7. Wish. He'll be okay. He had BKB, but Skeeter was chasing. He's still got another time walk in 2 seconds.
They're still going for this.
The bash.
Look to turn. Now, I mean, they've managed to get Wish back to the safety of his base.
Saves the BKB as well.
Focus. If they can hold for a minute, he will have that MKB out on him. So he just needs a minute here without Tundra bringing the siege.
Look at the pickup that 33 is about to have. He's about to have a Wind Waker. So he's going to have ways to protect heroes that do get focus fired by that Sven as well, too. He's going to be able to guard his buddies.
All right.
That's a cool pickup. I never get to see it. Oh, he changes it. Boo. Okay. He's going for the Axe. He just wants damage. It makes sense with the way 33's just been bossing it up 7 and 2 and 6. Top net worth.
Especially in these situations where the GA is getting off here outside of the Chrono. They want to have more magic really to throw in.
Ooh.
Snaking. He's got BKB. The Chronos come out. GA will come into play. Can they keep this Sven alive? As he's been false promised as well. Focus is able to get the BKB off. He'll turn towards Skeeter. Skeeter having to put the BKB and jump out to the side. Focus trying to get onto Fada, but he cannot do so. Back up into the base. 9, he dies. He's gone into the high ground. They're able to blow up the puck. That's 9 gone. As now Brain, they're going to try and look for more here. Skeeter is out with the time walk. So he's actually thinking about getting back in on this, but they'll be doing this 4 versus 5 now.
They know God's strength is starting to wear off, so they were thinking about going back in when that is ending.
Oh, but 9 just gets blown up. I mean, the game will continue. They may be down 20k, but Brame are keeping the action going.
Whew. Yeah, decent. What the? I guess he might be like a robot or something in Spartan.
I mean, he must have done it. Yeah, it must be like a robot. Yeah, we've all had that when one of our mates turns into an android.
Spartan. Typical Spartan, just typing ha 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 in all chat. How did 9 get caught, actually? I didn't get the speed in the back. I was looking at the front.
He's going right up. He goes right into the base.
Oh. How does he
no, it's not quite. Look, he orbs up to the high ground here.
He just goes
and then he's on the high ground, and suddenly he's around, and next thing he knows, he's dead. Okay. He's blown up.
Storminen looks to catch a really nice stun, I guess, toward the tail end of that BKB.
They're going to have to be a little more careful. They're, they're 20k up, but it's not proving to be too easy for them to actually close up the game.
No. Skeeter tries to go for the big play chrono, catching the backlines. He only gets the Sven, so Omni Knight able to cast absolutely every single one of his spells. They're able to get that save off also from Spartan.
11 to 20, 40 minutes in, 20k down. The whole sort of team on Focus's shoulders here.
Not bad though. Like, keeping their cool in this type of game.
Yeah.
Where Tundra hit them so hard right at the start from that first team fight. This is quite impressive right now from Brame. It's a very difficult game to come back in, but they're taking some good fights. And they do have Storminen, who's been scaling. It's important to point out, he will have this humongous burst damage. Timeless Relic plus the Aghanims on him. He's been quietly farming up on the side. So sure, they have this 4 protect 1 kind of strategy with like the Omni Knights not scaling in particular. The Lina is starting to get some nice damage. And almost level 20 for the Spell Amp. So we'll be seeing some nice 1200 pure damage about coming in.
Let's see what they can do here. Whilst the puck's gone a minute, a small window of opportunity to maybe try and strike.
2 minutes on Roche as well, too. Ooh, guess they're having some big problems with the mic, so. What?
What?
Beautiful.
Spartan.
I guess you just, yeah.
Gotta love him. What a nice lad. Like, look, they tip him. They're like,
oh, they might be AFK.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to take advantage of anything here. You know, what if this is a fair game here?
Absolutely. Very, very respectable sportsmanship here. Making sure. Double checking.
Yep. And Focus, he did, of course, get that MKB back after his courier respawned. Almost level 25 on him, too. Those damage will be through the roof.
All right. That's a lot of damage. They've got to be careful, even when they're jumping in with these BKBs. If he's able to turn a few hits, and these heroes will fall, you know, especially as we're seeing 9, he's got to be careful. This BKB won't keep him safe. If he's in with the BKB and finds himself next to Focus, a few hits and he'll get blown up.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he actually goes for an Aeon Disc too, just in case, just to protect. He's got the E-Blade to guard himself and his teammates and stuff like that, but might actually need it, as we see 25 picked up on the Timbersaw. Ridiculous damage coming out from him, and now he's got even more. Since he's versus those 3 strength heroes, Whirling Death is going to pack a punch.
Smoke up from Brame, though. As soon as God Strength is back up, they'll look to make a move. They know there's still this window where there's no Chronosphere. Just trying to work with every little thing that they can find here in this game.
20 hit on Lina down bottom. Continue to get this big farm on the Lina, too. Good pick up there. Spell Prism. Penta Edge also.
Penta
more
Edge.
damage for Focus. Very nice.
Here for Focus.
Yep.
Very nice find.
Now, who do they give the Spell Prism to is the question. Do you give it to the Lina? Or do you give it to the Omni? Because Lina already has...
Yeah, I think Omni's going to take it,
He already has Timeless Relic. Omni's actually taking Quickening
Yeah,
Charm.
you'd rather have Relic on Lina, surely. Yeah, you want to give Spell Prism to Omni, yeah.
Actually, Spell Prism. No one's actually taking it. Or maybe Sven. Oh, actually, Sven's gonna take it. Okay. Cooldown. I mean, it's all about God Strength.
I mean, sure, God. Yeah, it's all about the God Strength.
Sure.
You're right.
Sure.
Okay.
He's about to hit 25 too. So.
All right. I mean, yeah, I guess so. And honestly, yeah, with the 25, like, you're doing insane damage anyway, so maybe sort of negligible how much of a difference the Pentredge would make on top.
Yep.
You know, you'd rather have the cooldowns.
Definitely makes sense. Roche, it's back up. And it's got an Aghanim's Blessing.
Now, it's still down 20k. I think it's a little too much to expect to fight around here, right?
I don't think you fight here. No. Because that's
not
exactly the same concept.
Roche.
That's where you just give away the positioning of your Oracle and your Omni Knight, and you're very likely to get full man Chrono. So they actually step themselves out, but won't be able to contest. Are they going to give Skeeter the Ags, or are they going to give it to 9? Looks like Skeeter's the one holding. I thought perhaps they give it to the Puck, just because of that coil, but he wants to have this pesky time lock.
There we go, ready to go down mid. Tundra. Aegis in hand.
Still only 24 on Skeeter, but he's got a full Scotty too, so he's that much tankier. No backtrack yet. And I could actually argue this game for being a Chronosphere AoE one because he has to catch the backline heroes, but most people just default anyway. So we'll see which one he opts for, but either way they're pushing as dodges the stun nicely.
Yeah, you're playing against Oracle and Omni. These two heroes that are really messing with these Chronos that, you know, otherwise, if Skeeter's able to get these Chronos, like, he'll be able to end the game. You can put the game to a stop. He's going to jump in for the backlines. Whoa, quick jump out as well. Just a bit of a poke here with the time walk.
Wish pops his ulti, and he did spend his gold. He buys the full Aghanims onto the
Nice
DK.
in with the BKB onto the back. He's trying to control them here with the Dream Coil. Looking towards Spartan, but Spartan's able to keep himself alive. Nobody will die here yet on Brave. Space being made up for Skeeter to keep hitting onto the tier 3s. Gonna jump in over towards Wish. Shackles out as well. Wish falling pretty low here. Can they keep it like the false promise? Just in time.
Barely.
Spartan will be able to save Wish. They'll get him back to the fountain.
No false promise now for 85 for the Sven, though, and Sven also popped God Strength. Skeeter being so annoying here with these jump backs and forth.
He really is in and out. Skeeter.
Ooh, they're trying to predict it, too. Nice try, Showmanin.
In strength is victory.
Ooh. God Strength's almost gone.
No, this is going to be that nice timing for Tundra to try and strike. His focus was now one of his biggest strengths. Fortification being used. They're going to try and set up on a Skeeter, see if they can burst him. Oh, it's close. Skeeter is getting low. They can. That's the Aegis gone. Immediate buyback from Focus. He's ready for round 2. Wish gets cut down at the side, though. 33 blows him up. And now the Chrono comes down, and he's caught the two of them. The Oracle and the Omni, Spartan and Skylark, the ones that have been quite the issue as Tundra have tried to close this game out, but now they're gone. There will be a buyback up on Skylark, but with DK and the Oracle gone, just 3 left to defend her against the full 5-mana Tundra. This should be the opportunity for Tundra to close this game up.
The man at 33, just that talent is so ridiculous. The level 25 talent on the Timber versus these strengths has focused. It's got a BKB. Getting bashed up.
He's got God Strength in 5 seconds. Maybe if you can wait for the God Strength, they can do something. Over to the side, though, Skylark's gone. Another man down here without buyback. They will manage to blow up Snaking there with the Laguna. 5 seconds and Oracle's back in the game. Snaking's buying back. He's had enough of this. He wants to close this up, put this game to an end. They will get the jump over to watch the man. Let's see Focus getting out here with the God Strength. Has to use the false promise very early, though, to keep Focus safe.
He can't do anything. He just has to watch. Without BKB, he knows he'll just die if they get too many spell combinations on him from 33. Tundra, start to poke him. Tip's already coming out for Fada.
Skeeter. Whoa. And then closing the Focus. He's got to do something now, BKB or not. Otherwise, this game will be over.
He can't move.
Focus, he just takes a full ice blast to the face. That's it. Focus gone. GG is called. Tundra will take this best of 1 as well against Brame.
Very methodically as well. Very clean performance from them.
They play it safe.
This second half of the season from them has been very impressive, especially from this man right here, Skeeter. My God, that first chrono. Holy crap. The 4 heroes caught in it. Beautiful stuff. I mean, that was really good execution from Tundra. They slipped up that one time, of course, when 33 played a little bit too aggressively, but besides that, it was like a perfect game. And Brame, they tried to dance around it, but the inevitable defeat was there with the way they had to play. They couldn't get out of the map at all. Tundra just trapped them in there and just kept accruing and accruing that lead even more so.
No, absolutely. And then obviously just a tough day for Brame here.
Tough day.
But even in these losses, we still sort of saw that fighting spirit that has impressed through some of the wins that Brame's had this season. Just wasn't enough at the end of the day to sort of get themselves on top of OG and Tundra. But, you know, even in these games where the goal difference was that big, there was still that sort of that Brame passion that we've come to love.
Absolutely. They did do some nice moves, but for sure, at this type of deficit versus this lineup that you are quite countered in, especially after that one big chrono, it's tough to make stuff happen.
Yeah.
So,
well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. And with this best of one done and dusted, I'll let the panel fill you in with the details of what this all means, of course. But Tundra, they will take this best of one. They take it against Brame.
They take it against Brame, and that means we have our order ready for our 5th, 6th, and 7th space in the rankings of the Western European DPC League. And we have some information about what that actually means, what that entails. But of course, we're going to wait with telling you that until after the break. second convincing game for Tundra, placing them at the top, and this Chrono here at the top was a beaut, as they say, and already 12 minutes in, that was the point where T said, well, pack it up. GG, it's over.
Yeah, I will confess, I was watching in the green room with Shiva, and after I saw that beautiful Chrono, that beautiful setup, I did just go, yeah, this is an uphill battle for Brame.
Is that what he said? Or did he say it's over?
He just said it's over.
Okay,
right, don't try to. All right,
it's over.
Sugarcoat it.
It's GG. Yeah, Tundra's styling. On that. No, it was great. It was a great
beautiful
game.
Yeah, it was the clean, methodical Tundra that I think we've gotten used to, like identifying the winning mechanic that they need to do, the win condition, and then and especially in this game, after they get that fight, they chill. They chilled out. They farmed.
That's key,
played the map perfectly.
They played the map perfectly. I do appreciate Brame's fighting mentality, because they also must have felt that during that game, that it was going to be an uphill battle, but they fight until the very, very end. And to get into the game, and they had great warding as well. Purge will tell you more about that.
Thanks, guys. Being able to dismantle an enemy squad depends a lot about knowing what they're going to do, and vision helps a lot there. But before I get into vision, I just wanted to point out how nice it was that Tundra reacted okay to the DK. DK kind of classically counters Puck because it prevents Puck from going to side lanes and winning those lanes, but with their really strong laning heroes, they didn't really need Puck to rotate to these side lanes. I really like that he didn't nuke this creep wave. He didn't get any extra bottle refills. He waited to nuke until the next wave is coming, so with one Illusion Orb, he was able to completely shut down this push. Wish had used his ulti initially to get a stun on 9 to put some pressure on with the rune control, but because of these hero rotations and the creep wave clearing, the first Dragon Knight ulti doesn't do anything to pressure the tower. And on the other side of the game, what Tundra does was they use these really nice wards behind the tier 2s to basically spot what Sven was doing. They noticed Sven crossing over, a very obvious tell, oh, he's going to go do his ancient stacks finally. They knew they were there. They couldn't clear them themselves, but what they did instead was they got really efficient on the map. 33 had caught the creep wave bottom. He instantly runs towards the mid wave now, knowing that Sven is currently clearing ancients with his ultimate, which also means that the pressure on the Void is less likely as well. They also just spotted DK running down here. So basically there was no chain stun potential to be able to kill Void in the meantime. So now they get to hit mid tower. They glyph that catapult right before it died. And with that ward, they even spot the Lina lingering in the back line. They're able to kill her. And with her death, and now Omni Knight rotating behind, they even get the tier 1. So that vision gave them a really nice advantage. Then they move Clockworking to spot that the ancients are gone. And then with the second ward, this is how they got to set up that amazing Chronosphere kill. The ward behind the tower spots so many heroes just barely peeking out here, meaning that Sven is going to be backed up. And if you watch the map a little bit more, we just saw yellow as well, meaning that Lena's moving towards the top, and I think you spotted a Dragon Knight as well. And this is what allowed Tundra to have so many heroes ready to go. That ward behind the tower let them know that everybody on Brain was heading this way. This fight was obviously going to happen, and as a result, everybody on Tundra is ready to go the exact moment that the fight starts. Brain's caught off guard, and that is what Tundra used to crush this early game and get a 3-tower advantage.
And from that advantage, obviously, they were able to snowball, take a lead, and never really let go of that. So congratulations to them. And I told you before the break earlier that I was going to tell you what that meant. And I am going to tell you what that means, because now we have our ranking complete. We can actually take a look at the standings. That includes the money that the teams are winning, which obviously is also a factor. But, you know, there's some double TI champions and stuff coming in, so I don't know if they care that much about $1,000 extra or less. But one thing that they should be realizing is, well, first of all, no DPC points again for these teams at the moment. Doesn't matter that much because they're not going to come into TI because of points anyway. They'll have to play in qualifiers, and that is where this ranking is very, very important, because there's no super extra information, but what we do know is that it will be a double elimination bracket for the Western European TI qualifiers, and there are 8 teams seated in the upper bracket based upon these rankings. There's also 8 teams seated into the lower bracket, and it will be the number 1 from lower bracket, which is Viking. They will be seated in the lower division. They will be seated in the upper bracket. And then the lowest team in the upper division will be seated into the lower bracket. Does mean that all the teams that we saw today will be seated into the upper bracket of the TI qualifiers, but obviously it means a lot as to who they're gonna face.
I think the biggest sad part about that is simply that second place low division. Level Up.
For you.
I know, but I caught it because he wasn't aware. There you go. The second place of lower division, Level Up, who did get to upper division, will be starting in the lower bracket of the TI qualifiers. So a little bit unfortunate for them, but alas, that is all. That is it. DPC EU is over. And Fog just got past a note.
Yeah, Fog just got past a note. What does it say,
I guess
Fog?
so. It says, would you like to get...
Share with the group, please. Don't just read, you know, as the teacher says. Yeah, you gotta read it out loud.
There is no way they're going to be able to get that.
Would you like to get coffee with me tomorrow morning? Heart tea. I guess he wants some coffee tomorrow, so I'm going to say no. No, he's in the room right next to me. So
is it a yes?
Yeah, I don't have any coffee.
My man!
He was afraid to ask you because he's your biggest fan.
It's true.
I would love some coffee for sure tomorrow.
Because that means that we do not have infinite tiebreakers.
We got a day off.
We're day off.
We got a day off.
We're gonna play a lot of Dota tomorrow.
That's too much Dota.
Probably loads of Dota.
Probably way too much. I play 14 games.
I'm gonna try to stick with them to play unranked because my ranked's been tanking.
We're winning most of our ranked, except when we...
Of your ranked? You're playing ranked?
No. But it's basically like
ranked.
ranked. Everyone watching, you know that unranked in the European scene is popping. It is the
Actually is. Only on the higher levels.
Well, we don't get the most balanced matchups, let's be honest.
Sure.
A lot of the times, but
there are good matchups.
There are some good ones.
They're still higher than the average bracket, guys.
Just like the TI qualifiers, having the higher than average players perform.
We mentioned the TI qualifiers. That's all the information we have so far. So we shared it all with you in terms of like it will be double elimination. We know kind of who's going where, but that's it. We don't know anything regarding dates or stuff. And let's be real, we don't need to know anything more because we don't need to know, or we don't know yet who's needing to play in them, because who knows who's going to make it to TI on points. There's going to be a couple of teams that do that. Hopefully a couple of teams from the Western European region as well. Lights are starting to go real wild here because they know what's happening. They really want to go home because that was the final show, the final day. Tiebreakers are over and therefore DreamLeague Season 15 powered by Intel is coming to an end. Thank you so much for tuning in through the entire season, not just Season 1 but also Season 2. Are you gonna
I mean, he did it yesterday.
Back to that camera. No, Keep talking.
Okay. Well, it was a great season. It was a second great season as well. Really happy to finally also get that man over to Europe. Took us a while.
A few tries. Yeah,
a few tries.
I guess.
But it has been a ton of fun, and we're getting ever so close to international, which I think I know a lot of people are looking forward to, very hyped about. It's only just a matter of time before we find out which teams will be there. Of course, that's going to be decided at the major. I'm sure you're going to watch that one too. But from here, from this studio right now, thank you so much, and we hope to welcome you back in the future.
Thank you.